It's January of 2017. Nintendo is showing off their new console, the Nintendo Switch. There are demonstrations of what the console can do, there's a new trailer for the highly anticipated Breath of the Wild, and there are some reveals for entirely new games. One of these games was a weird 3D fighting game called ARMS.
That was like the teaser with the Japanese people, where they go like, oh! And then they get to like spring arms and they start fighting, you know?
When they did like the announcement trailer, I was like, holy
Spring Man!
that was fucking cool. I want to play that.
ARMS is gonna be the game that I'm like actually gonna sweat my ass off in. And
ARMS is one of those games, and I'm like, yo, that game looks kind of cool.
What was it? It was like the Nintendo Switch reveal, right? I was like, man, this game looks ass.
ARMS is hardly ever talked about nowadays, but for a couple years after its launch, a small but very passionate community was consistently crafting new ways to advance the seemingly simple game's depth and meta. Hidden in the depths of esports, these players were competing to be crowned the best ARMS player in the world. It's weird to say it, but ARMS changed my life. I competed in ARMS tournaments for a couple of years following the game's release, and through that, I made close friends that I still have to this day.
Oh, he read me!
Put that in the B-roll.
No, do not put that in the B-roll.
Put this in the B-roll. Check this out.
No! I'm
Put this
kidding!
in the B-roll. Put this.
However, I remember leaving the community on a largely sour note, disappointed at what the scene had become. So, I wanted to investigate. I interviewed various top players and community members to answer a few questions. How did ARMS function as a competitive game? Why did ARMS have such a niche community, and what caused it to splinter so much? Most importantly, what were the storylines and special moments that made ARMS such a fun game to watch? I've been on this journey to answer these questions for a full year now, and I think I'm finally ready to showcase everything that I've learned. Welcome to
He
ARMS.
says, bring it! Keep singing, y'all!
Two.
Keep it up!
Hyping up the crowd. This is the sound of the ARMS community, ladies and gentlemen. The best fighting game community? I don't know.
Yeah, I would describe it as pretty lit.
It's really lit, man.
Nothing just yet. These guys trying to find the right opening. Nobody thinks he see. Oh, no way!
2 seconds left. Can anyone get one more punch?
Who wins?
Let's see who wins. It's a draw! It's a draw.
3, 2,
Oh, he puts it
1.
there, but he's gonna get the landing, and he's not gonna get the trap. It does not count.
He does.
3 seconds left. Pop
Oh,
rush,
sugar,
and he
it
gets
is.
it!
And he hits the rush.
It's not gonna be
Oh!
enough!
And it stops
Oh
short.
my god!
It stops short.
Actually, pass me one of those watermelons, man. That looks good.
Alright, let's now go into detail about how ARMS works as a game and what was included when it was first released into store shelves in June of 2017. Keep in mind that this game retailed for $59.99, nearly $80 in today's money. The game is called ARMS because the characters have big stretchy arms, and you attack people with arms, like weapons like right to bear arms. The all-capital ARMS refers to the weapons that each fighter equips, but it's also the name of the in-universe ability of having stretchy limbs. And it's also the in-universe name of the sport that you play in the game.
Here are his signature arms. Capital ARMS can extend like springs. The combat sport also known as ARMS. I was shocked at first, but having arms like this is actually pretty rad.
Anyway, ARMS was marketed as a game that heavily uses motion controls, even telling you how to use them every time you boot up the game. However, most competitive players just use a regular controller. ARMS is an arena fighter. Before even starting a match, players must pick a character and a loadout of 3 arms, which they can then choose from every round. Characters can punch with either arm or grab by extending both arms at the same time.
You can't play the game. Only I can play the game. You can't play the game. You can't play the game. Only I can play the game.
Characters can also block, jump, dash, and air dash. Each character has 1,000 health, and each hit does about 100 damage. Modern fighting games are infamous for explosive damage, so it's an interesting contrast that ARMS is a low damage fighting game. Combos are rare, as being hit twice in quick succession causes a knockdown, but that's where Rush comes in. ARMS has a very basic meter mechanic called Rush. Holding dash or extending your arms gives you meter, and once it is filled, you can activate Rush. When you pop Rush, you very briefly become invincible to all forms of damage. Because of this, Rush is often used as insurance. If you have Rush and the opponent does not, you can make a risky approach and just pop Rush on reaction if you see an attack coming, effectively guaranteeing that you win the interaction.
Start, grab him. He's not gonna expect it. Grab him. He's not gonna expect it.
Offensively, activating your Rush alters your arms for a few seconds, moving them up a tier in weight and allowing you to spam punches relatively safely. Each arm has a different Rush effect. with most falling into the quick but no damage category or the slow but lots of damage category.
Blow yourself up! Ah!
Speaking of arms, the game launched with 30 of them, with 12 more being added as DLC. Each arm does something different and has its own strengths and weaknesses. Every arm has an assigned weight, either light, medium, or heavy. Heavier arms travel through lighter arms, but are usually slower. Holding block or dash charges a character's arms, allowing the player to use the arm's attribute. Charging your arms is almost always better than not. The game launched with 7 attributes. Fire always knocks down opponents and does bonus damage. Electric stuns grounded opponents for a long time. Wind blows opponents away. Stun stuns them. Explosion arms explode whenever they collide with a character or arm. Ice freezes opponents, restricting their ability to dash or jump for a while. And Blind is the blooper from Mario Kart. Some weird exceptions forgo an attribute entirely to instead gain a unique effect. Since you can only take 3 arms with you in a match, no loadout can cover every situation. For example, top player Twin50 is known for using the Biffler and the Ice Dragon. The Ice Dragon is a powerful zoning tool that slows opponents on hit, allowing for easy repositioning. The Biffler is an extremely quick poking arm that helps cover the long startup of the Ice Dragon. However, this set notably struggles against characters with super armor, as they do not take any hit stun from the Biffler. Against characters with super armor, Twin50 will often swap to the Roaster, a medium weight arm that ignores super armor with its fire attribute. Most top players had a signature loadout that complemented their character and playstyle. Now I really like the system of choosing loadouts before every round to cover specific situations, but this mechanic had one fatal flaw: unlocking them. Each character starts with a different set of default arms, and players can spend in-game currency unlocking arms at random from a minigame. Unlocking an arm you already have on a character turns that arm into a plus arm, which gives it a flat 10 extra damage. This means that to unlock everything, you have to unlock every arm on every character twice. This one design decision shot the game in the foot when it came to local offline tournaments, and split the already small community in two for the first few months of the game's life, but we'll talk about that later. If you boot up the game now, you can click in the right stick and press L and R to boot into a tournament mode, which unlocks everything for offline play. However, this was only added after the developers stopped making content updates. Anyway, if you want to know which arms are the best ones, here's a quick chart. ARMS launched with a horrible roster size of only 10 characters. Nintendo would add 5 more as free DLC, but this wasn't enough to surpass the base roster size of most fighting games. Every character has a unique playstyle, so here's an overview of all the base roster characters. Springman is the poster boy of the game, and thus he's the character with the most average stats. He has 2 abilities that shape his game plan. By holding and releasing dash or jump, Springman releases a shockwave that deflects any incoming attack or grab. This ability, dubbed Deflect by the community, is a more active version of the Rush shockwave, only it doesn't cost a resource. This ability completely overrides the RPS system the game was built on, and allows Springman to approach for free against most arms. But whatever, surely there won't be a character that has this ability paired with the one that rewards him for getting in, right? Springman also has a comeback mechanic. Getting below 25% puts Springman into an enraged state, permanently charging his arms. Ribbon Girl is an aerial pop star prodigy, and she's pretty easy to learn. Her special ability is her 4 air jumps, which greatly enhances her otherwise slow mobility. Her air dash also plummets her to the ground, allowing her easy transitions from the ground to the air. Ninjara is a collegiate ninja, and being a ninja means high mobility. Ninjara's signature abilities is teleport. Blocking any move will instead teleport Ninjara to a random nearby location, negating any chip damage. This teleport is not invincible, so Ninjara has an extremely difficult time evading Rush.
Oh my goodness, those dodges!
Ninjara also has the farthest reaching air dash in the game with his teleportation skills. Master Mummy is the grappler of the game. He has the highest grab damage out of any character, dealing 200 damage as opposed to the standard 150. He also has super armor when he's moving or punching. Super armor halves the damage of most attacks and completely negates their hit stun, but some charged effects go right through his armor. Finally, Mummy can also heal himself while holding block. The healing rate increases the longer block is held.
Looks like
Min Min is a simple character built around the powerful dragon form. Min Min starts off with extremely small arms. Grabbing an opponent or charging for long enough turns Min Min's left arm into a dragon, drastically increasing its size and permanently charging it. She loses this arm when knocked down or if the arm is disabled. Oh yeah, by the way, if you punch the arm and not the character, it does damage to the arm, which can disable the arm for a bit. Min Min's air dash and back dash also deflect all strikes and grabs. Mechanica shares the same super armor mechanic as Master Mummy, but trades grab damage for better mobility. Holding dash or jump causes Mechanica to hover, increasing her total dash speed and allowing her to advance while charging. She also gets a slight boost in grab damage.
They're in fucking arms. Oh no! Oh!
Quintel is an actress with time-stopping powers. Her actress aura, activated by holding dash, air dash, or landing from a jump, slows down any incoming attack, giving her time to block or evade. The ability is enough to put her high on tier lists, but in addition to that, she also has great aerial mobility and a slight increase to grab damage. Bite and Bark are weak on their own, and slightly less weak together. Bite has the worst overall stats of any character, with small arms and a slow dash. Bark helps him out a little bit by automatically punching occasionally, and sometimes punching with him when Bite has charge. Bark can also body block for Bite, but he'll be down for the count for a few seconds. Bite and Bark can team up in a couple of ways. Bite can bounce on Bark to activate a deflecting shockwave on top of Bark, and when Bite activates Rush, the two team up, reviving Bark if he's down, and giving Bite a big boost to his dash speed. The dash speed buff is practically useless, by the way, because you would never be dashing while you're in Rush. Kid Cobra is defined by burst movement speed and big hitboxes. Kid Cobra's walk speed is slow, but his jump lets him travel far without having to touch the ground. Additionally, Cobra can chain dashes while he's charged, and these two tools together give Cobra a shocking level of mobility. Cobra has the largest arms in the game, meaning that he has an easy time hitting the opponent. Additionally, his grab does 20 bonus damage compared to most other characters. The last character on our list is Helix, and he's a goofy guy, look at him. Helix has two stances. When holding dash, Helix shrinks into a puddle, helping him evade some attacks. When holding jump, Helix elongates. His arms are permanently charged in this state, and he can wiggle around to evade attacks. The game launched with a minuscule number of characters, but did you know that the game also had a minuscule amount of content? For single player content, there's the Grand Prix mode, which is the same as any arcade mode in a fighting game. The boss character is Max Brass, the reigning ARMS champion, whose arms are made out of the tournament belts he's acquired over the years. We'll get to him later. The online netcode is actually pretty good. It uses the same system as Mario Kart 8, which means that it has significantly lower input delay than other Switch Online games like Smash. It does have its moments though.
Resolve playing through it.
The rank system is also genuinely amazing because it's simple. You queue up, you win or lose, and you gain or lose points, and you climb ranks. It's simple, it's easy, and it works. There's also a casual lobby system that randomly pairs up players with a variety of extra rules. And that's about it for the different modes this game had to offer at launch. You can also play some of these extra rules offline. $60 by the way. But let's look at how ARMS launched as a competitive game. ARMS had a disastrous launch as a competitive game. The lack of content at launch was enough to cause most of the player base to drop the game after a couple weeks. And for those who wanted to play the game competitively, there were huge debates as to how tournaments should be run. First off, the game simply did not have the infrastructure for tournaments when it came out. Quality of life features like private lobbies where it could queue into a match and LAN support were not into the game until a week after launch. Offline tournaments had a much bigger hurdle. Tournament organizers would rarely run the game, as unlocking every arm for every character twice on every Switch setup was beyond time consuming. Prominent local scenes that did form, most notably in St. Louis, opted to play a more restricted format dubbed Defaults. Defaults restricts the arms that each character can equip to what they come with when you first get the game out of the box. This format was popular in offline tournament play, whereas the restriction-free alternative, dubbed Customs, was more popular in online play. For the first 7 months of the game's life, Defaults was the standard format in offline competition, while Customs was a standard format in online competition. As you could expect, this created a large split within the community. Defaults has a very different meta than Customs, with the meta generally being less balanced. Characters like Helix and Mechanica were significantly less powerful in Defaults due to the weak ARM loadout, whereas the already dominant Twin-Talon Kid Cobra got even stronger, as their default arms are very strong. Customs eventually won out as the preferred format and will be the main focus of this video generally, but a lot of the major tournaments that I'll highlight will include a separate Defaults bracket. In addition to discourse over what arms should be allowed, there was also discourse over stages. ARMS features a large variety of stages, each with their own gimmick. Some stages are more competitively minded than others, and different stages favor different playstyles. It was clear very early on that not all stages fostered competitive play. The best example of this is Kid Cobra's stage, Snake Park, which features spinning tops that dramatically change how your character moves. This stage was deemed uncompetitive even by the developers, and it was eventually removed from ranked mode via a patch. 5 more stages were also released as free DLC, and 3 of them were adopted into the final tournament rule set. ARMS would eventually adopt a stage striking system similar to Smash Bros, where players take turns eliminating stages from a small pool until a stage is chosen. Most rule sets feature 5 starter stages and 2 counterpick stages. Now let's talk about the community that actually stuck around with the game. Now I want to point out that I've been primarily speaking for the viewpoint of a North American player. Since the ARMS netcode was only good enough for certain regions to play each other, the community was further fractured into 3 main regions: North America, Europe, and Japan. I will primarily focus on the North American scene in this video, but many of the tournaments I'll cover will have cross-competition with Europe, and sometimes Japan. Despite all the fractures and confusion within the community, some notable players quickly rose to dominance. The most famous player of this era was Soul, who won the first ever ARMS Major at 2GGC. At the time, he was considered to be the best player in North America, but just 2 months into his prime, he quit, citing his disdain for customs as a competitive format. Around this time, Nintendo released several balance updates for ARMS, often giving lore reasoning for buffs and nerfs in their patch notes. They also released the game's first 2 DLC characters in July and September of 2017, the first of which was Max Brass.
GG Superior! Oh my god, did that get up feel good. Oh!
Max Brass sucks. I think he should die.
Max Brass is king. First off, he has both the Springman's abilities. He has a deflect, and he gets a power-up at low health. Although he's a little slower than Springman, he more than makes up for it with his extra abilities. Max Brass deals an extra 20 damage off of a grab, just like Kid Cobra. Successfully landing a grab or holding a dash puts Brass into pumped up mode. While Brass is pumped up, his arms are bigger, permanently charged, and he always has super armor, even when standing still, unlike Master Mummy and Mechanica. Brass loses this buff when knocked down or after a certain amount of time. But when Brass is below 25% health, he enters a special parry animation and permanently enters buffed up mode. Waking up from a knockdown while at low health will repeat the special parry on wake up. So to summarize, Springman has a deflect and a rage mechanic. Max Brass has a deflect, a better rage mechanic, improved grab damage, bigger arms, and an install that drastically buffs his abilities. So, was he the best character in the game? Yes. Yes, he was. While the first DLC character was already present in the game's single-player content, the second character was brand new. Lola Pop's defining features are her burst movement and defense. She's the only character that can naturally move while guarding. Out of her guard, she can also perform a high jump or super dash. She can also hold her air dash to bounce in the air, which also counts as a guard. Also, with the version 3 update, you can finally fucking customize your controls. Now let's focus back on the community. The community that formed around ARMS was young and online. How old were you when ARMS released? On June 16th, 2017.
You're gonna fucking do this to me. Alright, that's fine.
You're gonna make me do math and then also feel bad about how old I am.
I was 15, I think.
Pretty sure I was 16.
I think I was like 16 at the time.
16.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, but I would have been 16. And that scares me.
I was 17.
In June, I was 20 years old.
And I'm the youngest out of all of these people. I was 14 when ARMS was released. I was a fucking baby. ARMS reached Discord fighter status pretty quickly, with a tight-knit online community forming around the ARMS Central Discord server, occasionally traveling together to big offline tournaments. This is how the community was for the next couple of years. So, did you get the game day one at launch?
Oh yeah. I'm a certified ARM head. I don't think I had the competitive mindset. I mean, I just kind of enjoyed the game, I guess. I was playing it on handheld, no LAN adapter. I don't even know if I went online too much. I was just doing like the Grand Prix and all that.
I got the game day one because I just thought it was. I guess like at the time, Nintendo really didn't have a lot of games under Switch. I didn't want to play any of the hentai games that they had in the eShop at the time. So it was either that or ARMS, and I started playing ARMS. Look at all this was achieved through ARMS money. Can you believe that?
I had to trade in Breath of the Wild for ARMS. At the time, it sucks, but looking back on it now, it's kind of funny. It's like a blood sacrifice. Like I had to make to be good at ARMS.
I think I got the game like a day before Brass came out, I think. On the day of E3 specifically, I went to a friend's place and we watched it there. We were gonna play like Mario Kart all day, that was the plan, but we ended up actually just playing ARMS all day, and I remember picking like Mechanica and just playing against my friends and being like, yo, this is kind of awesome, like what if I became like the best Mechanica in the world or something? That would be sick.
I didn't really get any interest until a couple days after it was out, at least, I think. I started listening to a podcast about, someone playing it. The more I heard about it, the more I realized this is something I actually wanted to try.
Oh my god, Game Grumps!
That was the one thing that did. It was complete passerby territory for me, and then, I listened to that, and it just kind of clicked.
When did you end up actually, getting the game?
It was literally, a few days after Max Brass became playable, I think.
It was individuals like these who would form the backbone of the competitive community. There were various online and offline tournaments for ARMS in the early days of the game, such as the 2GD Summit and the ARMS Reddit tournaments.
Reddit.
But the game lacked a consistent and popular online weekly until September. On 9/11, a new online weekly was formed, Mega League Monday.
Are you serious?
I'm completely serious.
Holy shit.
I don't even think I knew what 9/11 was at that point in time.
That's crazy. Mega League Monday was the premier weekly tournament series for ARMS. The series had a couple of twists compared to standard double elimination tournaments. The first phase of the tournament split all entrants into entirely random groups of 4. Each contender fought everyone in the group, and the top 2 of each group got to move on to a single elimination bracket. The hosts, Shrimps, would go on to host other tournament series. Shout out Fight Club, shout out 3VT, shout out the 2.5 gay team on 3VT, but Mega League Monday remained the most impactful, as every week contained all of the heavy hitters. I mean, a 40+ man weekly for ARMS is extremely impressive.
At the time, I was managing a warehouse, and I worked 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. My passion was streaming, that's all I wanted to do. So I figured Mondays suck anyway, so let's make something fun where I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna be tired, but at least I have this thing to look forward to. And as we started getting more and more people signed up, I realized we kind of had something here. The format, even if you strike out in your first group, you still get to be around the scene, talk to people, get a few games in under your belt. It's not just single elimination. You get ready all week for this Monday night, and then you're just ousted in one match. So
it's crazy that a weekly series could have so many top players showing up so regularly. I like the different format into a more serious bracket. It was easier to just get a feel on how a person played before you fight them.
Around the time Mega League Monday began, some top players were gaining notoriety. For example, the 2 best Kid Cobras used him in unique ways. Cold Stare used Kid Cobra's default loadout.
I had my own little ARM set that I came up with. It was Slamander and Megaton or something like that, right? Cracker at the time was broken, and then they nerfed it pretty considerably. Definitely felt the differences, and I was trying to find some sort of substitute. While I was looking for that, I was pretty inspired by one player, Archie Magoo. He played Helix default, probably the most obtuse default set in the game. It's definitely the most obtuse default set by far. It feels like you just shouldn't have that work, but he did manage to make it work. So that was partially inspired by him as well, being okay, well maybe I can make my defaults on Cobra work. I saw a little bit of sentiment that Kid Cobra's defaults were close to, if not as bad as Helix's, and I definitely didn't quite feel the same way, and I kind of was pretty hungry to prove that was wrong.
While Cold Stare used defaults, JM Canada leaned heavily into a custom loadout.
I was trying every single loadout in the book until something stuck. I remember watching a Japanese player, a Ribbon Girl, who used Roaster and Slamamander. I was like, you know what, let me try this loadout on Cobra. And I went on ranked, and I didn't lose a single game.
Aside from Kid Cobra, the Fellows in Arms crew had proven themselves to be both a great boon to the community as well as a source of top talent, with players like Nobi and Pineapple Freak. Resolve was a rising star in the scene, known for his strong springman. He would soon get signed to Set to Destroy X, now Lazarus Esports, becoming one of the only people in the world to be sponsored for ARMS.
Oh my, and Resolve rushes the rusher. That is a classic Guardian technique, and that is it. Your winner And still, Spring-a-Ling champion of the world, Resolve.
Resolve decisively beat Archie Magoo in Mega League Monday 4. While neither of them entered the next Mega League Monday, I'd like to highlight it, as this tournament featured the breakout performance of a new star. New Master Mummy player Grifficle was up on stream in round 1.
And it's the Phoenix over top. He sends the bird.
High-level Max Brass player Serp was also up in round 1.
Can you see the shield pattern I always kept talking about?
Bro, it's crazy that I'm gonna be like on my deathbed one day, be like, and James gonna be there. He's gonna be like, you know, sir, we had a lot of great times together, but it's too bad you never fixed your shielding habit in arms.
Just look at it. It's right there. It's right there.
Jam talking to Serve like he's an alcoholic.
It has done it. Gets the perfect.
Cold Stare also moved on from round 1, and went on to face AM, who had beaten him twice before.
Wait, what did Scripps just say? Hold on.
Hey, Superior, you show Resolve your max bar 20 yet? Ring for these two. Pretty even arena. Oh, wow, and Cold. Huge rush. Grab, he'll think about triggering that rush. Can't get the juggle, but now a grab will do it. I didn't even see anything hit. Alright, Dart Remix, thank you for playing. And there's the tribal again, and double rush! Wow. And just like that, it is match 3, game 3. The winner of this one will be moving on. Ability from Cold, and he gets tagged. Triggers rush, AM blocks it. Shield holds. Immediately triggers his own rush. Does not hit, but there's a tri-volt. Almost counters it into itself. And Cold Stare, with only a sliver of health to speak for, is your winner.
Griff and Serp, both fresh off their wins from round 1, were set to face off against each other in round 2.
Oh, and a great grab there by Mummy. Max Brass staying patient. Oh, and Mummy with another grab.
Yo, Griff can notice the shield pattern. That's crazy.
Appears to be pretty comfortable doing so, and grabbed again. That Megaton. Wow. Superior with the 240 on Griff. Has him down to half health and in the corner. Now he's firing. Now a grab. It's not over. Superior looking for a couple more hits. And Griff, so good with that grab. Turtle strats. The turtle strats are strong with this one. Tournament life on the line. Gets a great grab. A good rush there by Superior. And a good grab. And that'll do it. Oh, strong Mummy. Superior. Unable to land anything on this elusive Mummy, and again!
And that's not the whole story.
No, oh yeah, that was my first interaction with Griff, actually, I remember it.
Oh, yeah. I have a funny story to go on with that.
Like, again, I'm like a kid, so I don't have any sense of this, so I'm like, oh, you know, Mega League Monday 5, you know, this is my block, I know what this is now, I've been around, like, I'm thinking that, and I'm like, oh, this Griff guy, I remember, actually.
Before the tournament, I think it was Serp even who had a lobby open. It was like, hey, anyone wants some matches to warm up before the tournament?
And I was like, oh, you know, let's get some games. Like, what's up, man? Like, you're the new guy. You're the new kid on the block. Let me show you around.
So me and Serp play. I think I, for the most part, get dogged on by Serp. I maybe take one game.
I think I won most of the casuals we played.
And I asked Serp for advice. And Serp gives me advice. And I'm like, cool, thanks.
But then we played in bracket,
and I beat him.
He just like floored me, and I'm like, what is this? What did they put in the water? Yo, when did this guy get so good?
Griff and Cold, still in the tournament, had tougher battles ahead of them. Griff fought against rising Lola pop main Jico.
And the rush landed by Jico there. I got a feeling this one's going to match 3. Jico can still win this. And Griff with a beautiful rush takes it and moves on. These two, what
Cold
a
had to fight
matchup
against
we're
top
about
Twin
to
Toe
witness.
player
The
Nobi.
Squiblappler, the Squiblappler. And there it is, the Baflaplablaplabla. Nobi up on HP, Cold has Rush, gonna waste it. And Nobi immediately strikes back, blinding Cold, which allows for another blinding shot, and a third. And Cold Stare in some danger now after a Squiblappler. Nobi staying with the Squiblappler. Nobi does seem comfortable around the outskirts of the stage. Not too worried about getting the middle from Cold. The Smabaffler. And Cold Stare dominates in this round. This time it is Nobi's turn to dominate the round. Oh wow, here he is. He needs one more or the rush. Triggers rush and gets it. And that's it.
And just like that, the finalists were set. Cold Stare was a veteran of the scene who had defeated his bracket demons, AM and Nobi, to finally get a shot at winning his first tournament. Griffigal, on the other hand, was a rising star who had just started competing and was using Master Mummy with his default loadout. At the time, Mummy was seen as the worst character in the game, and his default loadout has never been optimal for the character. The only character that was potentially worse than him was Bite and Bark. And speaking of Bite and Bark,
I had no idea who Cold was at the time, but I knew chat was like really hyping him up. I had promised someone in the chat as soon as the bracket was built. They were like, man, why no one played Bite and Bark? I had said, with no preconceived notion or like belief in myself to make the final, if I make the final, I'm playing Bite and Bark, a character I have no experience with. My entire game plan was like, Cold Stare likes to use curving arms. If his shit go like this, and my shit go really quick like this, I'm just gonna be able to hit him.
Oh wow, and Cold with a defensive rush there, was still expecting to land, did not. Has Griff back in the corner. His movement, very good. The rush, not gonna do it. The Beflefler, not very strong when it comes to the rush, and there it is. Cold Stare using that lateral quickness well, skating around, knocking down Barkin, still gets poked. Griff so nice, never spamming, always placing. Cold Stare trying to move in and gets around the pole there, and Bark lands one for 30, which allows the get up grab from Griff. Oh, good boy special. Cold doing well there to avoid Bark, and now Bark lands. Bark lands again. The good boy special. The Polar Express. Oh, and a strong grab there from Mr. Snaky. Cold will not go away. Oh boy. One hit away. And it is a Bark KO for the final.
That was definitely like a little shocking to me for sure. That was one of those losses. It happened with Griff with a few players where I was like really close to like winning a bracket of some kind. And like there was like a player that would come out of the woodwork and just fucking like completely stomp me. You know, later on they would just be known as like one of the like really godlike players in the community. Like it definitely gets to you for sure, getting like a lot of those second places, thinking that you have like a hold on like a first place, even if the bracket's not like, you know, super important, you know, it's just like another weekly, there's not like a prize pot or anything, but just having enough of those in a row, it's like the opposite of a confidence booster. You're capable of doing this, but like you just can't.
Mega League Monday was just one of several online tournament series that were happening around this time. The scene was vibrant, and this was aided by frequent, consistent updates from Nintendo. For the first 6 months of the game's lifespan, Nintendo would patch the game every couple of weeks, adding new features, balance changes, and characters. We already discussed Max Brass and Lola Pop, but 3 new characters would join the game's roster. Masango is a technical and complex character with the ability to switch playstyles mid-round. Masango has a spirit flying around him. While holding shield, the spirit turns into a pillar, which blocks any attack. By dashing into the pillar or by holding dash, the spirit will transform into a mask, drastically altering Masango's abilities. Without the mask, Masango has above average grab damage and slightly above average stats, but nothing outstanding. By donning the red mask, Masango gains super armor, bigger arms, and grab damage only rivaled by Master Mummy. To compensate, his mobility is drastically decreased. By donning the blue mask, Masango gains extra mobility. By holding dash and then jumping, or by holding jump and then dashing, blue mask Masango can super jump or super dash, giving Masango the best mobility option in the game in terms of sheer distance. To compensate, his arm size and grab damage are decreased. By donning the yellow mask, Masango gains rush faster than any other character. Additionally, Masango becomes fully invulnerable during Rush's entire duration. To compensate, his mobility and grab damage are decreased. Despite his versatility, Masango is seen as a low-tier character, as it is hard for Masango to set up the right mask in the right situation. His spirit starts off as one of 3 random colors and then alternates colors every second or so. If you want to use a specific mask, you have to wait until it's available, then hold the dash button to put on the mask. Your opponent can also just hit you out of putting on your mask. Something to note is that Masango's default arms all had the new Poison attribute. Poison arms slowly tick away at the opponent's health, with each tick freezing them for a short bit. Masango's default loadout contains the only 3 Poison arms in the game, making it one of the rarer attributes for an arm to have. Springtron is a unique character. He's the only character without his own set of default arms, as he shares Springman's, and he's the only character to be released as a boss character via a patch before making his playable debut later. As you might expect, Springtron is similar to Springman. They share similar stats and share a deflect mechanic. That's where the differences stop. Springtron does not have Springman's rage mechanic. Instead, he can hold dash to initiate an EMP blast. Any arms that are caught in the blast are disabled. The blast also gives him a significant buff to his mobility and charges his arms while the buff is active. The EMP blast is oppressive against newer players. Springtron is punishable after the blast if his opponent did not send out their arms. In competitive play, Springtron players don't use their blast to catch extended arms, instead opting to use it at a safe distance after a knockdown to avoid getting punished. Springtron is considered a side grade or a slight downgrade from Springman, as it requires a lot of setup to get his buff, and his buff is not permanent, unlike Springman's. While not a bad character, he is rarely seen in tournament play. ARMS players had been lucky to receive a steady stream of content updates since the launch of the game. Data mines of the files suggested that there would be many more updates to come, and the future of the game was looking bright. Version 5.0 released right around Christmas, added new cutscenes and a new secret final boss. However, Nintendo announced that version 5.0 would be the last major content update for the game. The developers released 5 new characters in 6 months, and then stopped. The game would receive 5 minor updates over the next year, and then the developers would go radio silent after late 2018. This was a huge blow to the community, which had previously relied on updates that kept the game fresh. A 2025 interview with Kosuke Ibuki, producer of ARMS and the Mario Kart franchise, revealed that development on ARMS stopped after version 5.0 in order for the team to be fully focused on developing Mario Kart World. It was incredibly disappointing for the game to be abandoned this quickly and with such short notice, but that's how Nintendo operates. And now, let me introduce you to the most infamous ARMS character. The last character that they'd add, Dr. Coil. Dr. Coil is the most unique and interesting character in the game. With the absolute plethora of tools at her disposal, Dr. Coil fundamentally alters the way that ARMS is played. First off, Dr. Coil cannot touch the ground. Instead of a jump, Coil can increase her distance from the ground by pressing the jump button. From there, she can either keep holding the jump button to maintain this height indefinitely, or she can let go of the jump button to slowly descend. Similar to Mechanica, Dr. Coil can move continuously by holding her dash. Dr. Coil can travel farther than Mechanica and has more control over where she goes. This also means that she can gain rush and charge her arms without sacrificing mobility, giving her the best rush game in the game aside from Yellow Mask Masango. Certain arms have different properties whether they're in the air or not. Despite always being in the air, Dr. Coil is coded to only use the grounded versions of arms. The most defining characteristic of Dr. Coil is her third arm. When holding a dash, a holographic third arm will emerge on a random side, copying the arm of the side that it emerged from. Firing that side while the third arm buff is active will shoot out 2 arms instead of 1. As you might guess, this ability is insanely good. When holding guard, Dr. Coil turns completely invisible for a duration, allowing her to sneakily approach. Dr. Coil gets up after a knockdown slower than other characters, but to compensate, she's completely invisible when getting off the ground as well. Most bafflingly, Dr. Coil takes a full 6 frames less of hit stun than all other characters, allowing her to escape from more situations than any other character in the game. Dr. Coil's slippery mobility, hit stun reduction, and ability to win at boxing with her third arm make her the best character in the game.
Boiler Reborn. That was it, like that's bad, man. This is how I felt.
Honestly, I don't hate her as much as I hate Brass. It was definitely like a mix of emotions when she came out. She was just so different. But we weren't really familiar enough with like her potential flaws. Like she can't jump, really. She can't air dash, and those are like pretty common ways to get out of like Oki and corner pressure, for example. I think it was that weird mix of like, well, I guess we'll see how things turn out.
Coil killed, I think, a lot of interest for people. I feel seeing double Coil in finale of tournaments, not a vibe.
The more people unlocked the cheese with her, for lack of a better word, the more you realize like how much she got rewarded in the game for just kind of playing like in certain ways.
They're gonna avoid literally everything. They're gonna, if they're not gonna avoid it, they're gonna block it. Like they're fine the entire time. They're gonna build 8 rushes off of you because they're not threatened by you at all. So
rush building was such a big thing in the game. She got it like so fucking fast. Yeah, she just ignores stage hazards.
Coil man. I just interesting people. And her dash gives her an extra arm, which was kind of like, fuck me, I guess.
Why did they make her so strong? I will still never understand this.
Like I said, her defense in the corner is kind of like iffy, sometimes a little scary. Outside of that, the better people got with Coil, the more of a problem it came to be.
I'm doing an interview about arm.
It took a while for her to get developed. That's more of like a late 2018, like early 2019 sort of thing of like, oh my god, how did they let this character fly? Like literally like fly. She's flying. She's off the ground. Yeah, she can fly and be super evasive. She has the third arm, but like also the invisibility, she did not need that. It's not what makes her top 1, but like it just makes her so much more annoying to fight. Like, oh my god, now I can't see because she's shielded for a few seconds.
Shout out the stun duration for Dr. Coil being significantly less than any other character for no fucking reason.
She's got the boots. She's got the jacket, she's got the hair.
I mean, before Astro, it was like Griff. That was like the Coil, right? Griff's whole thing was like Scully Coil. He felt so bad about using such a broken set that he stopped playing Coil. If that doesn't tell you about the character, I don't know what will.
I stuck with Mummy up until I started losing in tournaments. I had a very inflated like child ego. It was like, no, it's the character's fault. There's nothing I can do about this. Because Dr. Coil was like doo-doo fucking busted, and I felt good about winning with her out the box. I was like, hey, this is my character now. I used Scully on both arms. It's very ridiculous that I can't even remember what else I would have used on that set. When I played Dr. Coil, I got the reverse effect where it was like, man, this character's fucking busted, and it's no reflection of my actual talent as a human being. So I went back to Mummy. I just kind of carry a lot of the old head belief, if you can call them that, where it's like, man, Dr. Coil, way up here, not even close to second best. Gloves are stupid. More of the new gen players are trying to like figure out how to get around it. But we spent so much time as a community trying to figure out how to beat Coil.
What the fuck are you doing? What? I'm trying to have an interview.
I am a proud Dr. Coil main, and my Dr. Coil utilizes an unoptimal but incredibly unique strategy. Alright, here's where I talk about how cool this character is. Dr. Coil works best with fast, straight shooting arms like the Scully or the Roaster, but my loadout included an incredibly slow arm, the Dragon. Dr. Coil is the only character who has enough speed to dash into the Dragon before it fires, canceling the attack. When paired with the third arm Dragon, it is possible to become fully actionable while the third arm is firing. This tech was dubbed the Dragon Cancel, and it made me fall in love with arms all over again. I'll let this clip speak for itself, and if you don't think it's cool, then I don't know, you're wrong, I guess? Since the Dragon's fire attribute causes a knockdown, I had enough time to charge up my third arm, allowing for a looping mix. Sometime after ARMS, I got into traditional fighting games, starting with Guilty Gear Strive and then migrating over to Street Fighter 6. In both of these games, I gravitated toward the zoner character with a looping mix and long-range options coupled with deceptive mobility tools. And that love started from Coil. Okay, so, quick intermission. So far, we've discussed what ARMS is, we've talked about its rocky launch, and we've talked about the community that arose from the ashes. Next up, we'll discuss January 2018 through July 2018, the Golden Age of ARMS. The ARMS Golden Age came with an interesting paradox. On one hand, several major offline tournaments were scheduled that would finally bring communities from all over the world together. On the other hand, Nintendo had explicitly stated that they were done with major content updates. Any online game with that consistent support is expected to wane and fade into obscurity, and this is especially true and poignant with ARMS, a game that many immediately wrote off as being dead on arrival. The community knew that this era was not expected to last. There's another major topic that I want to bring up before I discuss this era of ARMS, and this is going to be a very major tonal shift for the video. An extremely important player from this era went by the tag Gormagala. In 2020, Gormagala was banned from the community following allegations of domestic abuse. I've been granted permission from the victim to discuss Gore in this video, but I wanted to make sure that you all know that he's a piece of shit before I talk about his role in a niche children's video game. January 2018 was likely the most important month in ARMS history, and it started with G7 ARMS Online. On January 13th, 2018, the first online major ARMS tournament was held, G7 ARMS Online. For years, this was the biggest ARMS tournament ever held, with 118 entrants, featuring players from all across North America and Europe. Almost every heavy hitter registered. The tournament had the biggest prize pool the game has ever seen, a whopping $1,000. Veterans of the scene and up-and-comers all wanted a piece of that prize money. This tournament was fated to be big, so big that it was a 2-day event. Not all of these matches were on stream, and the stream matches we do have are of questionable quality. It's a shame because perhaps the greatest upset of the tournament has no surviving footage.
Spring-a-ling champion of the world, Resolve.
I remember at the time thinking like, oh, Resolve, like this is the big guy everyone's talking about. I wasn't like thinking to myself like, oh, I'll see how I do in losers, but I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna beat this guy. And then I like beat him, and I got a little bit of like, we've memed about it before, but like, you know that one like deep left and tweet of like, oh, why'd you lose to this guy? Like, were you afraid to lose? Like, no, I was afraid to win. I remember like sort of having those thoughts at the time. Wait, is this really happening? Am I about to beat this guy? And then I beat him, and I'm like, holy crap. After I won that, like I see Frank Tank like in my path, like to make it out of pools, and at that point I'm literally like, I can't lose. My set with Frank was like it was kind of like a steamroll for me, I remember, because I was just like on so much momentum.
Serp would go on to beat Frank Tank and secure his spot in top 8 winners side. Pool 2's winners final match ended up being Twin 5-0 and Cold Stare.
Here we go.
Biffler and the Hydra. Quick.
The trampoline ends up opening up. That dragon is just going to look even. Oh wow! Speak of the devil, that was a fast one. Cold's not letting the trampoline gap mess him up though either. He's trying to carefully just work his way around him. Not quite enough to finish. This is a.
Pixels. Cold's approach. Lands.
Oh, there it is.
Nice timing.
Not a full rush though, unfortunately.
And now Cole's got rush.
And that's it? That is it.
Twin 5-0, that was before he like really fucking went crazy in the game. He was still really good. He had some habits that were a little bit easier to pick on at that time before he like completely made away with it.
Cold moved on to winners top 8, and Twin had to fight Gore in losers.
Oh my, is that?
That's not enough.
It is enough.
I lost to Gore a lot. That is not a uncommon trait.
Yeah.
Not that was uncommon for most people, but
You took a game off him though.
Did I take a game off him in this tournament?
You did.
The fuck was I doing at this point already?
At the end of day 1, top 8 was set.
Max Brass sucks. I think he should die.
Alright, we have JM versus Cold Stare. 2 Cobras, 2 of the strongest Kid Cobra players in the world.
One default, one fancy.
Yeah, so if those of you who don't know, Cold Stare is known for being pretty much the best default Kid Cobra player. He just focuses on using
the
his
only
defaults.
Default Kid Cobra.
Pretty much. Most of us have switched over to customs.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. JM is opting for the Coolerang and Roaster. He's known for using the Slapamander, so the fact that he's using Roaster is pretty interesting.
Him right now. Oh, and he's gonna get the rush.
Wow. I have no idea.
I think
Whoa.
he hit the median.
I think so. The median is so annoying on Buster Beach, especially for Kid Cobra, because Kid Cobra is all about those short, little, minute side steps, and that median will screw you over. He'll probably... Nope, not anymore. Ooh.
Finding a way to catch up here, but JM does have a rush.
Yep.
Now
Both
Colt's down to about half health.
Ooh.
Oh, and he still lands for 295.
Jeez. Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh, he caught him with a hit, but doesn't kill.
Oh.
Canada working with the magic pixel. He can't hit.
Will the magic pixel? Oh.
So scary.
Players are tied to their loadouts.
Oh. JM
Like
immediately strong snake.
Yeah. Like a mother is tied to their child.
Oh. Oh, he still hits. And
Time
landed
there.
the last second. Another throw from JM.
Just one hit away.
Oh my.
That will do it. Good to be here.
Woo.
Right now. Dashes. The momentum of the game.
Oh, and the mix-ups from Steel just too much. What a grab.
Able to block and still get that 275 rush.
Jeez, Canada got a little greedy. This is huge. One hit.
JM had quickly rose to grand finals in winner's side. His opponent was Gore Magala, who had crawled all the way to the finals after being knocked out from the winner's bracket early on.
This is the big event. The
Gore
grand
coming out with
finale.
funchucks.
Gore's usual strategies Helix revolved around staying in tower mode and constantly throwing out punches. The speed at which Helix can throw out charged punches is annoying to deal with on its own, and has the additional effect of quickly charging Helix's rush. Against JM, he opted to use Funchucks, which have a high vertical hitbox perfect for countering Kid Cobra's most consistent movement option, his jump. JM decided to rotate in the newly released Lockjaw in with his regular kit. As a heavy arm, the Lockjaw goes through Gore's Funchucks.
I was gunning for first. I really wanted first. I wanted first so badly. Literally everyone, all of my friends, my whole friend circle was cheering for me to beat Gore and to make it all the way. Like everyone that I knew was really rooting for me.
Rush.
And that will do it.
Go in. Oh, wow. JM Canada, great job. And
Jam.
Gore.
Or take. Alright, those Funchucks coming down relentlessly. And Gore finishes this off with a grab.
Yeah, well, JM trying everything in his power. Gore showing his dominance. Gets another grab in. And that's going to do it.
Yes,
Gore
it will.
cleans up match number 2.
After game 2, it was clear that the strategy wasn't working. JM started slipping, and in a last-ditch effort, he decided to swap characters.
Jam trying his best, but
Wow, Gore just feeling it right now.
Oh my goodness. And that is it. That's another perfect.
And then he lost again. And so we decided to swap characters again. And then he lost again. And so we decided to swap characters again.
And will this be it? That does it. That is the last set, guys.
It was not close. Gore was your G7 champion. Now to Gore, all of this was simply training for a much bigger event. 2 weeks later, players from North America, Europe, and Japan would meet each other for the first time in Nintendo's first and only official international competition. EVO Japan 2018 still remains to this day the biggest offline ARMS tournament of all time, with 318 people traveling to Tokyo to compete in an officially sponsored ARMS bracket. That's right, Nintendo was getting its feet wet with esports, and partnered with EVO to have ARMS as a main event. Kosuke Yabuki, the producer of ARMS, would give the winner of the tournament a championship belt. In addition to its significance, this tournament marked the first time that Japanese, European, and North American players would be sparring with each other. As Nintendo sponsored the tournament, they created the rule set. The tournament was double elimination, but was best of 1 until top 16. Stages were also chosen at random, with only a couple stages being disqualified. The extremely volatile and random rule set was seen as the cause of some top talent falling early in the bracket. 5 players out of the top 8 were from Japan. 3 of them were sponsored by Detonation Esports, who were committed to flying them out to international events over the course of 2018. These players were monstrously good at the game. These were the three giants of ARMS. Chateau, originally going by the tag Japanese Monkey, was known for his wild tactics and personality.
The tournament itself was fun. The way I went out was not very fun. So Chateau was telling me, and he speaks Japanese by the way, so he was having people in English tell me he's playing Twintel for like a long time. He's like, I'm playing Twintel. And right before the match, he's like, oh yeah, I'm playing Twintel, like, good luck. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that was very nice of him to tell me that. Like, he didn't have to, but okay. So I'm like, well, if he wants to go all out, we'll go all out. You know, I'm like, all right, let me put on my arms for Twintel, and we can, like, go to town. And lo and behold, I have Triblast Min staring at me, and I'm like, oh my god. And it's best of 1, by the way. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to kill myself. And that's exactly what happened, and I killed myself.
He swapped between multiple characters, but would eventually settle with Dr. Coil. Ku, on the other hand, exclusively played Ninjara, an underrepresented character, and was widely regarded as the best Ninjara in the world. Now, the last of the Giants requires a bit more of an introduction, because this is, without a doubt, the most feared and legendary player in the game's history. In Japan, he was considered to be so dominant at the game that the legal stage lists in Japanese tournaments, including official Nintendo events, had to be changed in order to give other players a better chance against him. The Japanese community revered him so much that many decided not to refer to him by his gamertag, instead simply referring to him as Kote, Emperor. But the Americans and the Europeans didn't share this respect, for they did not know his reign of terror, instead referring to him by his tag, Pega. Pega was known to play multiple characters, but most often used Max Brass, a flashy and aggressive character that contrasted with his robotic, calculated playstyle and demeanor.
Everything about Pega was so calculated. Even the way he would sit with his controller up, he would never have his arms on him, and then after every set in his notes, like looking at stuff, so he was like the definition of a robot.
He had recently won the 2017 ARMS Japan Grand Prix, an official tournament held by Nintendo. As the reigning champion of Nintendo's official circuit, he sought to maintain his title and championship belt, much like how, in ARMS' Grand Prix mode, reigning champion Max Brass seeks to maintain his title and belt. The North American and European communities united behind 3 representatives. Gore had just recently won G7 and was looking to take home another title. He lost to Mummy player Sukuron in top 16, meaning that just like G7, he would have to play top 8 entirely from loser's side. He would have to fight 2 of the 3 giants back to back to have a shot at winning the belt. Kajora was the only European player to make top 8, representing Kid Cobra in the losers bracket. Malieve, the highest placing Canadian, stunned opponents with her Mechanica, a character seen as incredibly weak. Malieve was and still is a prominent community streamer and tournament organizer. Out of the 3, she was the only player to not lose a game until top 8. In Winners Top 8, Malieve had to face Sukuron, the highest placing Master Mummy in the tournament. Here we see Malieve use a different loadout than her usual one, opting for fire attribute arms as well as the clapback, an arm that reflects incoming attacks. In a nail-biter set, Sukuron took it over Malieve. Next up was the losers bracket, where Gore had to face Chateau, one of the 3 giants.
Now and then, whenever Bam or other people come over to play. Oh my goodness gracious me! The mask is blue. Or might be throwing a flurry of attacks, but yeah!
Chateau had initially picked Masango against Gore, but it wasn't working. It was time to pick the Coil.
See right there, invisible stuff.
It's so crazy. Obviously on the right side, when they're stealth, they look like they have a blue outline, but on your opponent's screen, they literally cannot see you at all. All there is.
I said before, right? Helix able to just like contort his body in such weird ways. This knocked out.
Gore doesn't even know where to fire. He's like, I don't even know where my opponent is right now.
Yep, actually, we talk about this movement.
Yeah, both players really doing some amazing movement. There's another rush coming out from Gore. Is he going to get enough damage? No, 1 HP left on Chateau, but he's going to...
Magic pixel right here, and there it is. To the face immediately. Are you ready for that oolong tea?
Double Chilla. Meanwhile, Dr. Coil Chateau using that Parabola and the Hydra.
Just like you said, right? You look at the outline, even, or better yet, look at the shaft. Different arms.
Still rocking that double Chilla from the first round. There's a rush.
And Gore actually...
Oh, they're fighting for it.
Oh my gosh.
Both players gonna miss, yeah. Low HP. 2 more hits for both players here. Gore will get it.
Gore moving on. Great job right there. Woo, let's go, he says. Gets up on, oh, right there, players trying to show some respect.
I love that, man. The ARMS community.
And looking at these guys right now, giving each other love on the stage, it almost looks as if it is the grand finals, you know? Just hugging it out right there, showing respect to each other.
Gore's next opponent was the second of the three giants, Ku. Something to note is that Ku and Chateau are both using the Hydra, as it allows them to knock Helix out of the air more consistently. The biggest downside the Hydra has is that it's a light arm, which means that medium arms can go right through it.
In towards Helix, he's going to get caught by that rush for 300 damage. The life amounts for both characters are very close as Ku takes the lead here, life lead.
After the entire time that Gore was actually sitting on the lead. And Gore, switching up his playstyle. He's going for way more grabs. He's probably getting desperate here.
Yeah, Gore definitely realizing that he does not have the life lead anymore, so he needs to figure out something here. Probably going to look for a grab. Yeah, there it is.
It's not working.
Oh, gets the rush out. Oh, but he will get it at the last second. Gore will take the second.
I think Gore right now is basically trying to put himself in Lulu's semis right now. He said, dude, I need to catch this train right now.
Yeah, we heard the USA chants earlier from the crowd too, so he doesn't have some of the crowd behind him here at EVO Japan.
Oh yeah, that's powering him up a lot. These
crowds right underneath the ground. His movement is crisp. Yes. Even if I lose this round, I'm going to try and get as much meter as possible to start off the next round.
Ooh, but we have to see him stop.
There's that early rush like I was talking about after the whiff grab.
Oh my god.
370 damage, 390 to count that last 20 damage, yeah.
So good. But the strike back, the teleport out of the air.
Oh my god.
And the pillars too. Pillars destroyed.
Ku is fearless, man.
Finally, yes, he gets the opportunity to establish such a solid lead. And Gore Magala, he doesn't want it to happen, but there it is. A perfect.
Oh my goodness gracious, the perfect.
But didn't quite happen. Here it is.
One pixel that grab a little bit too early, but it's going to get some meter from that.
Uh-oh, about to get super. Are we going to see the rush?
Oh, whiffing a grab, Gore whiffing that grab. There's the rush coming out from Ku.
Oh my god.
And it will connect for, how much? 325, one more hit.
Oh!
And we saw it.
Yo!
Oh, he's popping off.
Yo, look at that. He even had to check himself in the projector. He's like, yeah, that's me.
Yo, am I on screen?
Yo, who got
I
your
want to make
friends
sure
in the
everybody can
frenzy?
see
Yeah,
this.
that's me.
All right, so basically a double tri-bolt now. Or he's been switching all arms very, very often.
Something that will complement his rest off playstyle, but it will lose some mediums.
That was a clean grab, dude.
Just hiding behind that pillar. Gore's gonna have to destroy it, and there it is with one grab.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, didn't go for a grab after that stun. Had to wait a little bit. It's getting close. Who's gonna pop first?
You can tell both players are looking for that opening.
Is anyone gonna?
10 seconds remaining.
Helix can contort his body in a weird way.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Who's got that shield? Oh no! Did not work out for him. 1 second remaining. He's not going to get up in time.
You take chip damage, it's A-okay.
Yeah, there it is. The Slam Man. They're kind of moving Gore Magala in position to get hit by that Hydra.
Gore Magala actually in a tough position here, but if he does lose this, he goes into the next round with full meter.
Yeah, I think he's going to hold on to meter. Hopefully he tries to hold on to meter, unless he can get his opponent down to where that meter might actually matter.
Wow, and if he could win this?
I don't think Gore's going to pop it until he knows that meter's going to end the round. Getting really close to one. That grab will whiff.
No hits yet!
Oh, he will get a connect, but I think he's gonna survive this. One more hit though for Gore, and he will close out this match.
Gore, you're nuts. Are you gonna be able to actually go through this unscathed? Answer the question.
There it is. 10 seconds remaining. Oh, it's not gonna be enough. Oh, he does have a very slight life lead here with 4 seconds remaining. All he needs is some chip damage. What's gonna happen? He's gonna avoid, and Ku will take round number 2 just from the chip damage from his rush. Final match here. So final round. Double chill coming out from Gore once again. Yeah, rush 2 seconds ago.
Oh, correction. 1 medium, 1 light. Might be. But it doesn't even matter. Shuts down the rush. Keeps it going. Oh, boy.
Oh, that meter already has a 3rd rush for this round. 30 seconds remaining. Ku gonna fire a grab off his own. With it.
And there it is again. Gore Magala.
Rush.
Counter rush.
Oh, he tried. I respect that. Tried to get the Slabmander out in time, but look at the life disparity between these two players. That grab will whip. I don't think he does not have enough time.
Oh,
tough. I think that was such a great match, but it's so rough to lose like that.
Gore was on pace to recreate what he had done during G7. He would go on to defeat Maliv and Sukaron, earning him a spot in Grand Finals. His opponent was none other than the King of Arms himself, Pega. Pega's main character, Max Brass, has arms made of the tournament belts that he won over the years. In the story mode, he serves as the final boss, where the player has to fight him on his turf, surrounded by various awards attributed to him. In Grand Finals of EVO Japan, Gore had to fight Pega on Pega's turf. The stage was crowded with Japanese fans cheering for their home country, and on stage was the tournament belt that Pega had won during the 2017 ARMS Japan Grand Prix, a constant reminder to Gore that he was fighting a living legend. This one set could cement Pega's legacy as the King of ARMS, or it could prove that even giants can fall. This was the clash between the best of North America and the best of Japan.
Everybody's been wondering, which region is better in ARMS? Is it North America or Japan?
Strategy, throwing out those buffs as fast as possible. Yeah, there's the meter already. Jump, instant rush, connection. Or, you know, when you get as much meter as you do with these gloves,
it's fair. Yep, and here it is. An answer right there. 325. Offense right here from Gormagala, but just notice the way Pega's moving. Can jump forward. Oh, it's...
No, that's good, but we saw Pega holding onto his meter, knowing that, hey, I'm going to start this round and use my meter as soon as possible. Connection, too. Yeah, it looks like he has a rhythm to it. Going to go for the toaster first, and then finally using the Hydra afterwards. 170 damage coming out from that grab, and it begins D1.
Slowly climbing that mountain, trying to get all the damage that he can. Yeah, but with all the great movement that he has, what do you think you see?
I don't know, we just saw that shockwave coming out from Pega. Guard cancel on that blocked punch, but both players have their rush. I wonder if he's going to hold on to it. No, Gore going to pop. Good night popping his in return to get that shield out of time. Ooh, guard cancel trying to have a little bit of aggressiveness after that. One more hit is going to do it for Gore.
Gormagala taking the first game and even staggering, waiting a little bit, then punched again just in case. Pega felt like maybe I could finally, looks like, I guess, definitely important right now for Gormagala to get the first one, or actually both players to get the first one. To see what happens.
There are the shockwaves I was talking about, finally activating the shockwaves. Ooh, guard cancel, the grab, 170 damage.
Big deal right here for Pega. Hastily, 10 seconds left on the clock. Gormagala realizing this, getting as much chip damage as possible.
And he can still do this, man. All he needs is 3 seconds remaining. Yeah, he's gonna pop it. Oh, it's very scary. Very, very scary.
Right now, Pega making sure to just check his notes. Just got one round.
Down the game. Very aggressive jump grab in Gore's face. I'm very surprised that Gore likes to wake up and punch as a broken glove.
One glove. Out of the way. But it is Pega actually so far away from Gore, decided to just charge like that. And here's counter rush. Gormagala winning the exchange.
Yeah, kept from Gore and get right in there. That shockwave actually is downfall because that let Gore's gloves recover a little bit faster and start that rush off.
I love how wide some of these swings are from Gormagala, capitalizing on the fact that his character does have
it's here, which doesn't happen yet. Has the meter, definitely not gonna. What?
Yeah.
All right, so much for what I was saying. He's just gonna go hyper aggressive. He gets the rush connect, but he still does not have the lightning.
170.
After this grab, so much for what I was saying. D1, this man is hyper aggressive. He wants to win this game number 2. Doesn't even want to game round number 3.
We might need a grab.
Oh my goodness gracious.
For Gormagala, so good. Being able to see, but not quite working out. I mean, we've seen the knockdowns. At least he's able to throw one grab attack, but not the second.
I like this aggressive payout. Once he gets that knockdown, he's gonna stay in there.
Oh, and Gore actually rolling forward right there. Might take a rush.
Oh, he did. He had the buff up. Gore switch gloves a lot. Always using the same glove on both hands, but I feel like as soon as Gore loses the round is when he says, I can need to switch gloves here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense because now, when the opponent is buffed, he's able to actually just get the fire knockdown on the opponent. Yep. And look at that, the moment the game started.
Once again, both players getting caught by a lot of these rushes, man. A lot of damage coming out from both.
There it is right now, buff installed. And Gormagala just trying to find opportunities to get that charge. Dashing around while in that puddle form. And now looking for opportunities to get the knockdown. Where's that grab whip? And he counters with a grab himself.
Yep, gonna throw out another grab as his opponent's getting knocked down and get as much meter as possible.
Actually right outside of the range of these attacks that are coming out from Pega. Look at Gormagala go. Can the cameraman even keep up?
Yeah, that shockwave again gonna give himself a way to get in there, but he will get caught.
Gore defeated Pega in the first set, successfully resetting the bracket. It's time for round 2, and Gore just needs to win 2 more games to be an EVO champion.
Oh wait, hold the phone. That does have anti-glitching capabilities.
Another ground game coming out from Pega. Does not want to jump in the air because that's going to get him blown up by the amount of punches. Oh, another grab, 2 grabs in a row. This is a lot. How he's got a lot of his damage in these last few matches.
But there he is. Oh, immediately stopping him.
Gore is on that 1 pixel. But he has a gift that those arms in rush is insane. Pega doing a great job of taking advantage of those shock waves
around center. Even though trampoline isn't that bad of a spot for it, but there it is. The pop, KO, not quite.
Not quite, but he does have quite the life lead here. 1 more hit, but that has proved.
Very impressive plays right here by Gore Magala. So fast with his healings. So evasive with this character as well. No time to buff. Full meter. Wait! Actually, Pega built that meter.
Yeah,
so
but
fast.
it's not going to matter. D1, one more hit come out from Pega. We'll close out this match. He's going to get it. Take game number 1.
Again. So this time to switch up. Double toaster. Big fan of the doubles too. Double gloves rather.
Yeah, so you remember I was talking about how it's an uphill battle for Pega. It's quite literally an uphill battle. Yeah, use as much of that mobility to move around. Oh, instantly stuffed out of that rush. He's going to get his buff up too, so things are looking very good for Pega as he has a slight life lead. And get this rush to connect, yep.
Big deal right here for Pega.
That buff helping out so much, and 107 damage once again. He's going to go another one, and that's going to be it for round number 1. Things are looking bad too as Gore starts off on the bottom of Ninja College. They will switch sides every round.
Knocking him down. Gore Magala actually employing more shield.
Shockwave gonna get him out of that grab attempt and give him a free 280 damage.
And he's not getting any charge hits right now with the Hydra to knock down his opponent. Great Shockwave usage, but there it is. Solid damage right there. Gore Magala trying to bring himself back in the game, but we almost have full meter.
Oh, and the grab to connect, but he's still on the bottom. He's trying to switch sides, trying to jump up there, but doesn't get. Oh, Gore gets knocked down.
Again? Can he do it?
Both are, narrowly avoids that grab with the roll. Here's the rush. Gets the shield out in time. So some chip damage from Pega, but he's not. One more hit for Gore. Maybe 2 more hits from Pega. But Pega will do it. Pega will win ARMS at EVO Japan 2018 over Gore Magala. Wow, what a set from these 2 players. D1, my goodness.
Pega had immortalized himself as not only the king, but the emperor of ARMS. Players from all around the world would have a second chance to face Pega in June, but until then, North America had to train. It was clear that American and Canadian players were lagging behind Japan. Luckily enough, Nintendo had given North American players a good incentive to train. ARMS would receive a few quality of life updates over the next several months, including a tournament mode that unlocks all ARMS on all characters for offline play, finally enabling local tournaments to play with a custom rule set instead of defaults. One of the updates also announced a new tournament hosted by Nintendo of America. Players in the US and Canada had the chance to qualify for an 8-man single elimination bracket. Qualifications were determined by ranked match performance. While most players simply went to boot up ranked, the Canadian ARMS community had developed a strategy.
Of course, so when I'm talking about the airline bathroom.
Everyone was hyped. We were like, oh my god, like Nintendo is like running official tournaments for us. Like this is huge, right?
It was cool to see. I thought it was extremely whack that it was just based on like ranked.
They would do the ranking exclusively in their like proprietary ranked leaderboard.
There was no like opt-in, opt-out type of thing. Like it was just you play on ranked. We will let you know.
It's a little iffy. I could be playing the laggiest Twintel on Cinema Do and having a horrible time, and that would affect my placement in the online tournament. You play at least minimum 50 rounds, and then you're ranked based on how those went.
You would just run into one person that was like demonstrably worse than you, and you would just grind off that person. There was like a rematch limit of like 85 games. You
I
could
didn't
play
know
with
there was a
someone.
rematch limit.
There was. It's like 85 or some shit. It's like something really random.
My 3rd or 4th opponent is like Griff, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And then I lose to Griff, and I'm like, wait a minute, guys. I sit them down, and I'm like, listen, if we all want to be in this tournament, right?
If we're fighting each other, our aggregate score is gonna go down.
Bathrooms on airplanes have the little like occupied thing, and like that's how you log them. When you come out, it's unoccupied, you can go in.
So we have a Discord chat called Airline Bathroom, where you log when you hop on and off. So if anyone's using it, it goes bing, and you know not to join rank because you're gonna bump into them.
Okay, I'm hopping on. Don't hop on. Do not hop on ranked.
Everybody was like conspiring to like.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that. We don't talk about Canadians in America anymore. I think they did actually pretty well, so I have faith it was like actual conditions that made sense. As someone who qualified.
Yeah. After the qualification period, the top 12 finalists were revealed, with a third of them being Canadian. The strategy worked. Nintendo gave every finalist signed artwork by the developers.
Holy shit. It's Springman!
No way.
I'm going to go over a few of the matches from the event as usual, but I wanted to point out that for this tournament, some of what I'm covering can be viewed in-game. You heard me right, Nintendo would go on to include highlights from this tournament in the game itself, meaning that if you own ARMS, you can watch along to this next part on your Switch. Now with Gore Magala's dominant showings in G7 and EVO Japan, he was set to be the clear favorite to take the whole tournament. He was the first seed and first up, and he's out. That's it. Shoutouts to Pineapple Freak for taking the set. Anyway, Resolve took a 3-0 over Nobi. Twin played against Goof in the first round, and he ended up losing to him 3-1.
I played against Goof in the first round, and I ended up losing to him 3-1.
And Griff took a 3-0 over Sir Rosa.
Cancel out that rush attack. Let's take a look at our bracket now as we get set for the semifinals. Griff advances on. We'll take on Goof, but before we get to that matchup, we have our first semifinal matchup. It's Pineapple versus Resolve.
In 2018, Pine was best known for pioneering Clapback Cobra in North America, a unique defensive playstyle that was dominant in Japan. The Clapback is one of two shield-type arms in the game, with the other being the Guardian. The Guardian is known for being pretty bad, partially because it automatically moves toward the opponent. To get the best value out of the shield aspect, you always have to move behind it, making counterplay predictable. Not only does the Clapback not move unless commanded with a punch button, it also reflects any incoming attack while it's deployed. Because of Kid Cobra's best-in-class arm size, the threat of the Clapback is amplified. This set also includes the Cracker or Popper, light arms with massive hitboxes that cover most angles. Resolve's counter strategy was the Chakram, a curving arm that could beat out the Cracker and curve around the Clapback. Resolve had another huge advantage over Pine: the stage choice. Stages were random, and unfortunately for Pine, Spring Stadium was chosen twice. As Spring Stadium is small and unfit for defensive play, Pine was forced to swap from Clapback to the Birdchuck, abandoning the strategy that got him this far. Resolve won the set. On the other side of the bracket, Goof and Griff faced off in a foreshadowing of what the meta would become a year later. Goof initially picked Mechanica against Griff's Coil, but would later swap to the better character and mirror match him. Griff's winning strategy in this set was going double Roaster. The Roaster and the Toaster, yes that's what they're called, are mostly the same. Both are gloves with a fire attribute. The Roaster does 10 more damage, but lacks the slight homing property that most arms have. You would think that the lack of homing would be a disadvantage, but Coil can often move so fast that homing arms travel in the wrong direction, making Roaster the most consistent choice. The finals were set. Resolve versus Griff.
I had a lot of nerves going into it, because Resolve is kind of the guy at this point.
I had no sleep going to that tournament. I pulled an all-nighter the night before. I was so nervous. I was practicing with Astro against Astro's Coil, and I'd pull off like a game every like 5 games. If I go against Coil, I'm just gonna lose. So when I saw it was Griff, there was definitely a huge mental weight. I didn't even think like win. I just thought like, don't get 3-0'd.
Resolve versus Griff. Springman going with double roasters to take on throwing double nades. Here comes another rush attack from Dr. Coil, but you ain't getting through Resolve right there. Resolve, here comes the rush attack from Resolve. Perfect.
All Resolve needs is one more hit, charged or not. You can see him dancing around trying to deflect these punches as finally
Griff going with the Coolerang, as you can tell from the ice attribute when it connects with a charged hit, but then more damage right there. And how about that rush attack? It'll come.
Yeah, it just comes out. It's huge, and it puts you in a very bad position because you're going to take extra hits as Resolve comes out swinging on this one. 310 off the rush.
The 1-2 for 150 damage comes from Griff, and Griff has the rush attack ready to go. Griff looking for a chance, misses with the throw, but then able to counter with the rush attack as Resolve has an arm extended.
That was perfect timing for Griff. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity. Resolve didn't think he was going to let it go right there, but finally he does, as Griff is just one punch away from winning it. But again, we have to talk about the fully charged arms coming out from Resolve.
Double fully charged arms and the rush attack. Is it going to be enough to get Dr. Coil? No, it's coming down to one punch to take this first game in this final matchup here. Who's going to be the first one to connect? Can Resolve connect with the punch, or is it going to be Griff? They're down to just one more tap. Ooh.
Griff decided to change loadouts entirely for Game 2. On the right side was his iconic Scully, but on the left was one of the worst arms in the game.
Hindsight's 2020, but I'm very stupid. I'm not playing to like the mental abilities of Resolve, who's like, okay, I need a glove, I need a light arm in my second slot, and I need to actively swap between them. I need to parry his punches. I'm not thinking any of that. I'm like, man, Kablammer's pretty cool.
That third charged arm that's coming out, if that is a Kablammer, obviously he can't control it because he doesn't know which one is going to come out.
I run into the same problem with my third arm. I don't know what it does. With rush attack ready to go, but it looks like Resolve's going to keep that one in his back pocket because you can see that the writing's on the wall essentially for this round. Sticking with that Scully and that Kablammer, and already chipping away at Resolve. Both fighters have that rush attack ready to go, but critical Kablammer connection right there for Griff. Here comes the rush attack from Resolve, and that's going to connect.
He's getting multiple hits of that. He's going to get a lot of damage coming out from the poison. He's going to get a little bit of damage off this rush, but nothing crazy as Resolve even claps back right there.
Blocking, not trying to expose himself too much. Resolve missing with that Tri-Blast. Blocking the Kablammer, and here comes the rush attack.
As long as he can do this, as long as he can block that rush, he's well set to go up 2-0 in a game.
Arms aren't going to be able to do that much damage as you've got that Scully that's quick but not very powerful. Meanwhile, Resolve with the rush attack. If he connects, that could turn the tide, but no! Misses on that one. Griff still has a chance, but Griff's going to have to really close the distance and put some pressure on Resolve here. Connects with that hit and has a rush attack ready to go. It's going to come down to Resolve's ability to avoid this incoming rush attack, which you know is coming. Able to do it. This one's going to be really close here. Oh, that last hit by Griff, though.
The lightning fast speed of the Scully was putting in work.
Dude, the Scully, I'm not even kidding, had me gripping the controller like ready to break it.
Griff going with double Scullys, trying to really inflict a lot of poison on Resolve. Meanwhile, Resolve sticking with that Tri-Blast and that Roaster, having no issues in this first round whatsoever. Still at nearly 100% health, connects with that throw.
I thought Resolve was so on point on that. Getting a wake-up grab on somebody is very difficult in this game, especially a character like Dr. Coyle, where she goes invisible on knockdown, so Resolve is just firing on all cylinders.
Not the way you want to wake up. You better set your alarm next time. Griff, meanwhile, just a couple punches away from defeat. Resolve, though, trying to get those punches, but you see that chip damage starting to come in from that multiple poison counter up to the counter of 3 right now. And that's going to slowly drain Resolve. And then here comes Dr. Coyle connecting with the throw. Griff still has a rush attack ready to go. Could be an unbelievable comeback if Griff can play this well. Meanwhile, Resolve has to start thinking about being a little bit more aggressive if he wants to close the door on this. Griff just sitting back, avoiding damage. Keep taking away damage with that poison as well, too. Keep an eye on Resolve now as those permanently charged arms. Griff, here comes the rush attack. Doesn't connect, though. Might not have enough time. Can Resolve just avoid getting hit? No! The throw from Griff.
Block, but Griff keeping him at bay with that Scully.
Resolve with a rush attack ready to go. Connects with the throw. Careful if you're Griff not to expose yourself too much. Another throw. Potential round, but no. Griff still has something to say about that with yet another throw.
I'm interested to see how they use it. Resolve, unfortunately, gets knocked out of it, and that might do it.
Oh, Griff right now with that charged rush attack. You know Griff's going to want to deploy that thing as this round gets. But no, the throw from Resolve.
These guys need to take this pivotal second game.
And you look at the fat defenses at the moment.
So if you're Resolve, I think Resolve had the right play. He was sitting back. He was charging up his rush. He didn't force anything. Unfortunately, he did fall into the rush, into the grab also.
Attack goes to Resolve. Resolve deploys it, and that connects. That's going to be huge to close things out. Keep you up all night. Griff trying to stay. Oh, and yeah.
You're seeing him and Griff with this power struggle just back and forth. This is some of the best arms I've ever seen.
Resolve is on tournament point, and Griff, once again, decides to change arm loadouts entirely.
You're seeing Griff just hide behind these DNA tubes, playing a little peekaboo with Resolve. Meanwhile, Resolve not taking out the DNA tubes. However, Griff taking out one, so not going to be as much cover to hide behind. And
very slow, not trying to force any decisions, but Resolve has him in the corner. He has the rush. He breaks the tube. He's trying to force this situation, and there it is. He lets it rip with 10 seconds left. Almost 300 damage.
Resolve, unbelievable turnaround right now. Can Griff get enough done? Griff has a rush attack. Here comes the rush attack from Griff, but no, Resolve blocks it. Oh! It's going to be close. I think it's going to be Resolve.
It's Ringman, yeah.
Resolve, though, getting hit with a charged boomerang, and Resolve now. Here comes those permanently charged arms and the rush attack. Just a sliver of health.
Griff held block to timeout Resolve, taking the finals to a Game 5. Resolve had been performing best on small stages, but was struggling on arenas with open spaces. The final stage, decided randomly, was Scrapyard, one of the largest stages in the game. However, Griff was locked into his loadout for the previous game, meaning that he had no more tricks up his sleeve. It was anyone's game.
We saw Griff with the Tri-Blast able to keep Resolve at bay. You're seeing it. He has to hold block for longer. He can't just dash in after a block, and I think Resolve is trying to do that to Griff as well.
Misses the throw from Griff. Almost connected.
These guys almost dead even in health. They both have rushes.
Full of slugs in every single round. Here comes the rush attack from Griff. Not able to connect right there with the boomerang and the Tri-Blast. Resolve has double nades. You know he's going to deploy it at this point. Yes! Connects. One of the rare connections we've seen with our rush attack. That means Resolve has the advantage. 3 seconds left. Now you can just sort of stay at bay and not expose yourself. But no, Resolve being aggressive. Great job of choosing the higher ground to stay in the same vertical plane as Griff.
Definitely. As you see,
Resolve keeping his distance, Griff trying to keep him at bay, knowing that he can either just wait him out or doesn't have to expose himself.
Yeah.
He'll just kind of sit back, block, and then counter when Resolve tries to throw that throw.
Look at these punches. Oh my goodness. Coil has to be very careful. His arms were so close to breaking there. Resolve had a good rhythm. Griff had no way out of that.
Resolve, though, still might be too little too late as Griff goes ahead and connects. Would you have it any other way? Game 3, our 5th game, our 3rd round. Whoever wins this wins it all, folks. Hang on to your seats right now. Griff versus Resolve for the U.S. and Canada Arms Open Online Championship. 90 seconds left. Early advantage to this one to Resolve. Both fighters have their rush attack.
I mean, you got to add also, this is Springman against Dr. Coil. This is everything that Arms is about, as both these guys with their rushes trying to make something happen. They want to find the right opportunity, but there's so much on the line. If you miss that rush, you could get second here.
I remember the chats being like,
Scripted. We didn't script this, folks. We promise you. 70 seconds left are you when you know that the artwork is at stake here. Resolve connecting with the rush attack. That's going to probably turn the tide. Resolve with the lead right now, but Griff still has his rush attack ready to go. Griff closing the gap. Can't connect with that, though. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, Griff is not out of it yet. We've seen him come back from the jaws of defeat so many times. He's throwing out this Tri-Blast. Resolve is in the corner, but Resolve doing such a good job of avoiding, but he does get hit by that wind.
Folks, they're essentially equal on health with 23 seconds left. Resolve has the rush attack ready to go. Griff has a rush attack ready to go. It's going to come down to the final couple seconds of this one right now. Resolve trying to penetrate the defenses of Griff. Griff doing a fine job blocking. Here comes the rush attack, but no, Resolve can't connect. Here comes Griff. Griff has a rush attack ready to go. Can Griff connect?
They both
Griff
miss.
Can't connect. They both
Look
miss.
at the health.
The health is so similar. 2 seconds left. Can anyone get one more punch?
Who wins?
Let's see who wins. It's a draw! It's a draw. Unbelievable. We kid you not. The final deciding game for the championship came down to a timed out draw.
A lot of people brought this up to me, is that I didn't do full chip damage, which in hindsight would have won me the round. I kind of punched him a little bit and then back up. But I think a more equal feat. He throws a lot of punches my way in the last 5 seconds. If I shield any of those, it's the same situation. So I weaved in between both of them, purely on instinct.
In the rare case that both players are tied at the end of the final round, the game forces an extra round to determine the winner. The set had officially gone on to round 4.
That was insane. Oh my goodness. Absolutely incredible play from both these guys. These guys are operating on the absolute brink of top play.
An opportunity for Griff. Here comes Griff with the rush attack. Resolve blocks that one. They're both once again at similar health. Oh, Resolve connecting with that charged roaster to do 140 damage, but Griff countering, and here comes the rush attack. Once again defended these players.
Dr. Coil with hurt arms. Resolve trying to keep this pressure up, but Griff is just not relenting.
Griff has the disadvantage right now. Resolve is your leader when it comes to health, but here comes Griff missing with the rush attack once again. 25 seconds left. Resolve looks like he's got the advantage as we head down the home stretch. Rush attack ready to go. Able to counter the Tri-Blast coming through. Blocking that Tri-Blast. Here comes the rush attack. No, can't penetrate the defenses right there. Griff going to have to really find something magical here. Griff down to a couple more punches. Resolve trying to claim the championship. Just needs to hit a couple more times. Griff's not going silently in the night, and that'll do it. Resolve.
In the final round, I crumble a bit under that pressure and I fumble the bag, which is really unfortunate. I was really down on myself in the moment. But my ultimate cope is that the first place prize sucks ass and is nowhere as good as the concept art. It's a big poster of something that already exists in the game. Everyone has that in their Nintendo Switch. You can open the gallery and you can find it. You can't find that. That is concept art illustrated from whatever the art team. And they value the other one more, I guess, because bigger picture or whatever the fuck. But I like this one better, so I won! I won that shit.
Did you also get the Springman as well, or did you get 2 pieces of art, or just that one?
Yeah, I got them both. I got them hanging up right next to each other as well.
Okay, you got them both.
I would have been pissed if I didn't get the Springman one while winning the Arms Open with Springman. That would have been that would have been terrible.
The Online Open proved just how intense and close the competition was in North America. The region was now ready to face Japan again. Later that month, the 3 giants of ARMS, Pega, Coup, and Chateau, would fly to Long Beach, California to compete in Switchfest 2018, where they would face off against 5 out of the 12 players who qualified for the US and Canada Open. By the way, this little maneuver right here pissed Resolve off a lot.
People were thinking of banning Mausoleum, and I was heavily advising banning it. It was such a cheese stage. Like, it was such a cheese stage. As soon as the trampoline comes up, you just zone the person until the time goes.
These 5 players were readily prepared to fight the 3 giants. So how did it go this time? Japan was even stronger than before. The rest of the world was 0 for 2, and they had 2 months until the giants would fly back to North America. During this time, the online scene was popping off. It was where a lot of top talent proved themselves. Players like Grifficle and JM were unable to attend offline majors due to cost and distance, but they were near untouchable in online tournaments. Here are some names of some of the online tournaments happening at the time. Resolve even made his own tournament, with Mausoleum as a counterpick. Several of these online warriors were crowdfunded to go to Smash and Splash 4, the tournament that many see as the defining moment in the scene's history. One of these crowdfunded players was JM, but he decided to pass and give the money to Para, a known but rarely talked about Springman. Para, the 3 giants, and about 50 others would travel to the Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells for the ultimate weekend of ARMS.
You hear about like smaller games, they kind of like pool their resources to go like one tournament for that year if nothing else. That was definitely Smash and Splash 4. I think it was very cool just to see everyone. It was pretty huge considering like how spread out we were as a decently small community.
So I think anyone that went to that tournament knows it was the tournament. That was the ARMS thing to go to. A lot of people that wanted to compete offline, that was going to be their first time, and especially a lot of Japanese players were making a point of going as well. It was mostly Ku I talked with, and he did kick my ass.
That is a once-in-a-lifetime situation that I could have never imagined being a part of something like that. The Japanese guys there, and you know, they recognized me from the streams. You know, it was just funny having that human interaction. They're just like, like looking up, like, oh my god, he's so tall.
It was great. In retrospect, I wish I didn't grind as much as I did and actually enjoyed the water park more. But seeing as I came in there with something that I really wanted to prove, it makes sense that I did. I felt very welcome into the community, for sure.
My big thing for SMS4 was being able to go with the Shrimp Squad. We did a sort of small road trip.
Having that car ride of the squad that you've been hanging out with and talking to online the whole time, and them being the same genuine people that they were online. I can say without a doubt I have several lifelong friends from the ARMS community. The tipping point of that was Smash and Splash 4.
It's super fun meeting people, especially when they don't know what you look like. I think Shift is already at the setups, and I think we were the first 2 there, and then Hess was like, hey, you guys like on?
Smash and Splash 4 was the peak of the ARMS scene. While EVO Japan and the Open were official Nintendo events, this one was entirely run by the community, using North American community rule sets. No more random stages. Smash and Splash 4 also included a separate defaults bracket. At this point, defaults was a rarely played format, so this bracket served as a proper send-off to the alternative rule set. Brackets for both games were Swiss-style round-robin, with the top 2 of each pool making it to winner's side top 16. Para roomed with Twin, and the 2 trained hard to make it far into the bracket. When pools started, Para was first on stream. His first ever offline tournament ARMS match, and he was on stream. But who is he against? The best ARMS player in the world.
This is going to be hype. There, if you know this game, it works that you can deflect an arm, but with the grenades, that explosion can really hinder that with your face. So that's something. Oh my god! Missed each other. Yeah, Pega not landing that rush, and that's actually big. He usually lands like every rush confirm.
Maxgrass has a distinct advantage in that he has super armor.
Oh, and Par going for it.
That's that rush.
Gets the first round, and Pyro's actually not playing with the headphones. All of the other players have been. The people here behind us. Oh,
fantastic grab, but it's not easy to do.
Yeah, just weaving like in between them. Oh my! Oh god, that was big.
This is too much.
This was that.
The movement in general isn't that good.
There he goes. There he goes. He's going to have to kill.
He does. He takes the first match.
He does it versus Pega. Yeah. There was this.
We're seeing the Min-Min.
Right now, he doesn't need it. He's just like shoving Para into this corner, and you know.
Drive left. Again, be aggressive.
I think moving back a bit to not get rushed. Oh, counter rush with the clap back. Even when he wins tournaments, he just like stands up, gets the reflect kill there with the clap back.
Clap back that it's hard to deal with, but we're seeing one of the greatest aggressive players in the community, in the game, use it, and we're seeing it in full force right now.
The arm is just so fast. It's like crazy. Okay.
Hit that rush.
There we go. I think they're up this, or not straight up, actually curving like really weirdly when you do the rush.
Flat back curving during
Yeah,
rushes.
and he gets the rush. This is legit. Like this could have been the grand finals.
A lot of matches that could have been grand finals,
Yeah.
but I think this is one of the best ones we've seen.
Be able to handle the pressure. Oh, he goes for the cancel again. It's so risky. Bring Men and Max Brass. They're known for their comebacks. Oh, this is close now. Yeah, this could be it for Pega right now. Oh, Para still staying alive.
The wire.
Whoa, that was so close. All right,
Goes on charge shot.
he can.
This is going to come down to rush.
Yeah, he's going to go down. Oh, but no! Pega takes it back. 1-1 right now. Chateau teammate freaking out behind us right now.
Everyone is like.
They're saying broken because Tri-Blast because Tri-Blast is dumb. Players elect to go for a curving arm when they're faced. Oh, that was risky because that angle for Para was not really working in this. And as I said, like, you know, most people elect to go for a curving arm. Para just goes straight up with the gloves.
He's got very solid fundamentals with double gloves. These rotaries are fast, and he's making them work.
Yeah, if he gets a bit of damage in now. Yeah, now he's
One hit.
He's going to look for the rush now. Oh my god, okay.
Rush is right in front of the pillar.
Yeah, that was weird actually. Like going for that. Oh, he's broken the arm.
No, Pega behind this pillar is the greatest right now.
Yeah, that's literally saved him right now. That was amazing play. Very clutch from Pega. Going down.
Takes it. I think we're going to see Pega drop that clap back and go back to the
Doesn't-
I'm wrong. Okay.
All right. Who can predict the Emperor? Come on. Para really wants to finish it right now. I think if he finishes right now, he's going to be so confident in his moves.
We see, like, it's a repeat of round one.
Skiest dodge in the rush of the game. Goes
Gets
for the
that
rush.
rush.
Pega not electing to go into this right now.
Pega
Gets the
one hit.
10 seconds left right now. Can Para do it? He has the health
I think he
advantage.
can just hold shield and like Krabs won't be able
He's
to
going
do
to.
it.
He's just holding
This
shield.
is it.
He's
He
holding
took it.
He's the controller. He's popping up.
No,
oh my god!
Why did
no!
you do that? No!
Oh my god! Okay, the controller fell out. All right.
It was freaking 17-year-old me. Like, I just got so excited that I knew that I had won. No matter what, there was nothing he could do to win. And when I knew that fact, like the first second that I knew that fact, I didn't want to wait for the match to actually end. I just wanted to pop off there, which resulted in the controller DC. In hindsight, like, I should have just waited.
And people are cheering, and Para is popping off. It seems like it went to Para.
After discussing with the organizers, Para won the set. This didn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, as both Para and Pega would make it out of their pool, meaning that they would both be in winner's side top 16. But this did prove that Pega, the Emperor of Arms, was mortal. There were a lot of stream sets for this tournament, but some of the more impactful ones were done off-stream. Ku was eliminated by Twin 5-0, fresh off his loss to Gore, and Resolve got his revenge against Chateau. Top 8 only had 2 Japanese players, Pega and Abu, who's been here this whole time. Hi Abu. As the bracket progressed, 2 players remained in winner's side. You guessed it, Gore and Pega. It was time for the rematch. The first stage picked was Buster Beach, a stage that Pega was so dominant on that it was banned in Japanese tournaments.
Gore short hopping all over.
Oh, look at these crouches out of the
Trying
jump.
to bait Pega, and he's gonna do it. Gore's gonna do it. He takes it. Match number 1. Gore gets revenge.
Pega needed a new strategy, so he did the unthinkable. He swapped characters.
Now, do you think this is specifically a Gore counterpick?
Yes.
Like,
and
this
Gore,
is some
they
tacky
They
thought
both
up?
just counterpicked each other. Gore went Phoenix as well. You rarely ever see Gore not use a double glove.
Mixing up his throws with a crouch, and Gore raising his fist to
This
the
new
air.
strategy wasn't working, and Pega needed to adapt
Now he's putting the
fast.
pressure on
He
Pega.
decided to stick with Kid Cobra.
Bird chucks come through. And Pega is going to take a round back.
Pega, 1 hit away from a lead.
There it is.
And that's the P word.
It is.
With the anti-air again, and now with both rushes online, this could be a rush away from sealing it. Oh, the grab instead. Maybe that same mix-up. Oh, the confirm off of the...
Oh,
wow!
he got it! Off of the trampoline, knew he was going to take a bounce, and it looked like his arms even bounced off the ground for the KO.
It's now 2-2, and Pega decides to abandon the strategy that got him this far, returning to his main Max Brass.
The Japanese cheering for Pega. Pega
That
gets the
grab.
grab in. That won't do it. Gore's still alive.
Magic Pixel gonna take everything
Gore's
he can.
gonna land.
Oh
no! And he gets punched in the foot. That rush could have done it.
Pega with the reverse 3-0 victory onto Gore.
Gore was sent to the losers bracket where he once again eliminated Twin 5-0 and was set to fight Pega in Grands. And I'm not gonna lie, this one's pretty rough. For whatever reason, Gore picked Springman in Grand Finals.
Oh, what a dive! Oh my goodness!
When that didn't work, he swapped to Lola Pop.
Trying to cover with the rubber.
Super Armor saved him
Nothing
like
right.
crazy. And
But the knockdown,
Gore gets hit.
Magic
Pega
Pixel.
has rush. Pega's gonna trigger rush. Pega hits, and then the Emperor wins both tournaments.
You heard that right, both tournaments. He had won in defaults over Chateau the night prior. While the three Giants of Arms were all dominant in their own right, Pega clearly was a step above the rest. Para was the only non-Japanese player to take a set off of him in bracket. The three Titans would be back for one last tournament, a community side event at EVO 2018. But Para would not be participating, and Pega would not be winning. Out of the 43 participants for EVO 2018, there were 3 non-Japanese players who reasonably had a shot at beating Pega. Gore was obviously able to at least get close sets versus Pega. Resolve was at least even with Chateau. And then there was Twin 5-0. He had always been performing well at major events, but 2 players kept eliminating him, Gore and Goof. He lost to Gore in G7, Goof in the US and Canada Open, both at Switchfest, and was double eliminated by Gore at Smash and Splash. Aside from those 2 players though, Twin was undefeated. So what happens when Twin's bracket path doesn't include either of those players? Entirely off-stream and off-camera, Twin beat Pega, becoming the second non-Japanese player to do so, and the first and only to send him to the losers bracket.
I beat Pega 2-1 in winners, which is kind of crazy. I wish I had the recording of that match. Dendy had it like on that stupid Periscope website or whatever Twitter used to be like connected to. You know, everybody was like watching me versus Pega. Everybody was super hype. It's hard to tell if Pega is composed or not. He doesn't really get it. He's very stoic, so it's hard to tell if he cared. But I beat him on Temple Grounds. It was scary. It was really scary. It was pretty close. And then it went to Buster Beach. It went to 3rd round on that second map. Even the last round was like pretty close. It went to like 0 seconds, but I think I like got him on the last hit, and I was like pretty low. I was like a quarter bar of my health. I take that match, and I couldn't believe it. Obviously, I was just like not even sure what to do with myself because I was not expecting to win that at all.
He would go on to decisively beat Ku in winners finals. For the first time, a North American player was sitting in winner's side in grand finals. Ku, who had lost to Twin twice now, made it back to loser side grand finals and was ready for the run back. And what followed was possibly the greatest ARMS set of all time.
Full flurry of damage.
We have right now already the countdown starting, 7 seconds left, and these health so close, but it is Ku with the slightest of health leads. He can keep it together for just a couple more seconds, and he does, taking the first round. So he's choosing his opening so carefully. I love that, waiting for the air movement from Twin 5-0, seeing the super dash, not going straight down, and then calling it out hard with the rush. So dangerous though, he had an opportunity, 1 pixel left for Twin 5-0.
All right, chip damage. Is that going to break it? Yes, it will.
Of course, it's like, I am now the defender, so I need to build up the space while I can find it.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we needed. The Biffler into the rush, and before they land, just to get an extra 20 damage. You can try to get something started, maybe with chip damage. Oh, he goes for the grab that time! That's such a smart decision, but I don't know if it's enough.
It's not. It's not going to be enough, and Ku is going to be able to take that second game.
Whoa, what are those? Do a lot of stuff as well. And then eventually the poison property will allow you to get, you see right there, 1 damage overtime.
Very useful to take on, especially as these grilling sets have gone to time every single time. If you can get a nice poison on somebody, you can start profiting off that pretty nicely.
Yep. And of course, I believe, oh wow, that was such a great break. The explosion was able to catch that, but Twin 5-0 getting a little bit too aggressive there. All right, just trying to continue that aggression, able to get that explosion.
Gets himself in a nice corner situation. Can he keep it going? He finds himself another charged clutch hit. We have 8 seconds left to do. Can Twin 5-0 get himself around? No!
He gets his own grab, but he's got 3 seconds left to go. Pulls out the rush. Is that enough to do it? He jumps over and it gonna be able to allow Twin. That had to be a difference of like 10 health between the two of them. Okay, we're going to time every single round because Ku is not committing.
But so far, Ku barely been touched, and yeah, that's the reset.
Wow.
He beat me 3-0 in the reset match. I was just like completely lost. He had this really good setup where he was going the Burchuck and the nade, and he was using his movement well, and he was using his arms exactly how he had to at that point to stop me from bullying him in any way, really, right? Like, he's blocking out a lot of my offensive capabilities with those two arms.
This is it. Everything is now on the set. Twin 5. Oh,
that grab. Because you're constantly trying to hit away. Oh, is he gonna be able to get it first? No.
How crazy is it that Ku is beating Twin 5-0 at his own game, right?
Yeah.
Just showing that he can rock the ironclad defense too.
Okay, goes out for the rush, dashes right through. Man, that is so good. Ku taking game 1.
Twin is still sticking up to that balcony though, refusing to come down.
You saw the lip of the ledge kind of mess up Ku's rush there a little bit. Sometimes the arms, they won't hit their opponent, and it'll hit the lip of the stage instead.
We got 5 seconds.
I thought it was very smart for him to be there.
Is that going to make the difference? No, just still slightly too much health, and Twin knows it. He jumps back away from that grab. He needed that so badly. This momentum, he does have a little bit of the lead, the tiniest amount. You see him backing himself into the back wall as soon as it happened.
Ooh, and just able to catch that whiff, but not able to get much else. Oh, but he was able to get that knockdown with the Biffler, so he's able to get something at least, but not as much as he hoped for, I'm sure.
Oh man, that was so brave of Twin 5-0 to keep his shield up, because in those situations, that's when Ku likes to grab. I mean, he's going to make it have to count, though. Only 7 seconds left, the rush being tossed out, and just that, the one little bop, but just that tiny little boop is going to give him the health lead he needs. One thing that Twin 5-0 is doing such a good job this round is calling out the roll directions by Ku, just constantly calling it out and tossing out both arms and catching him with some big damage.
And there we go, Twin 5-0 takes it.
He's the one who's going to get a pick. If it comes to a game 5, he gets to choose where it happens. And we hear the crowd actually livening up right now, rooting for the chance for Twin 5-0 to take this whole event just one more game. Look at that, 500 damage dealt to Twin, uncontested. Ku looking and finding another grab.
The follow-up gonna be, goes for the Biffler into another grab, but it's just enough for the rush to be able to break it.
Looks like he found his composure, especially the way he's been leveraging his offense a lot more than he was previously. Essentially stepping on the gas when he finds himself in a good situation as opposed to trying to leverage that defensive play, because Twin 5-0 has stepped up his own pressure over the course of this 2-set grand finals. Getting his way inside. You see this dash is so intimidating.
Yeah.
But Twin is keeping his wall up. He's keeping Ku out, doing a lot better than he did previous. Like, he's 26 seconds left on the clock and dead even health all around, but a rush blown away. Ku is going to find himself a grab and a solid lead. 20 seconds left.
Oh, able to get that Ice Dragon? Will he be able to? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Cycling through the Ice Dragons and able to get that grab, and that's going to be Twin 5-0 taking the next round.
That's it. This is tournament point.
Match point. For Twin 5-0. Oh, he just goes immediately for the grab, man.
Okay, this guy, Twin 5-0 is feeling absolutely confident right now. I don't think he's going to choke at all. This is it. It's going to be going to the final game. And it all comes down to this $1,000 pot bonus plus the, $400, $440 from the actual entrance itself. Not to mention, I mean, that's just the money. You know, these guys they're competitors. They want the title.
It's a Twin 5-0 Ku, both in loser's bracket. Let's see how this goes, everybody.
Every little mind game.
Yep. Oh, frozen again. What does he go for? This time breaks the grab. Oh, and he's actually able to interrupt that rush. That is so big for Twin 5-0 to try and take this first round. And he's got rush himself.
He has to land it. If he doesn't land it, he's still in a terrible position, and Ku is going to make it even worse.
He's been having such a hard time just opening up Ku, getting anything started, because Ku's defense, again, has been so spectacular. And every time he's been trying to go on the offense, Ku is able to reversal that so efficiently.
That's basically it. This round is going to Ku. Ku's going to find his opening, once again, putting himself on a lead. A tiny one, but, I mean, we've seen these things snowball before. 36 seconds left to go. Still a strong lead for Twin. If he can just keep this momentum rolling along, the Bifflers are helping him get that job done.
Yeah, and he's got the rush. He's going to want to save that for the next round. Gets the Ice Dragon hit again, and we're probably going to go to a last round, but this is ARMS. Anything can happen, so I don't want to call any shots so far.
It's 15 seconds left. At this point, it is undoable for Ku. I think he'd have to build up rush and then land it flawlessly right now. Actually, he might be able to do it.
This is really big.
He's got to be really careful. About 4 seconds left on the clock.
3, 2,
he whips it
1.
there, but he's going to get the landing, and he's not going to get the grab. Does that count?
It is, and Ku takes it. And just like that, Ku is your EVO 2018 ARMS champion.
Twin got the closest out of anybody to taking home a title for North America, but alas, Japan was once again victorious. And this was the last time that anyone would get to face the three giants in one tournament. This set marked the end of the golden age of ARMS. Pega would retire from competitive play, moving on to competing in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and later Smash Ultimate. Ku, while not yet retired, did not travel to any more international events. This also marked the end for Gore and Resolve, who went on hiatus and retired respectively. EVO 2018 was also the last major offline tournament for a long time. The next major offline event wasn't until February of 2019, 6 months away. But that's not to say that offline events didn't happen in that period. In late August, I traveled to New Jersey to compete in Summer Jam 12, an ARMS tournament with a whopping 12 entrants. I ended up placing second, beating Kumo, but losing to Serp.
Seeing Serp now and Serp from before, I love it.
Seeing you now from before, like, Jesus Christ.
Like everyone's like drastically different, and that's like one of the more cooler things that I really like about the community that was ARMS. At place at Summer Jam, they'll give you all this delicious food. Look at it. Hold on. Oh yeah.
Other notable offline events during this time were held in areas with strong local scenes, such as Southern California and St. Louis. There was also ARMS Japan Grand Prix 2019, where Twin and Gore were flown out by Nintendo to compete in an official Japanese tournament. Here's Twin next to the creator and director of ARMS. This event, which was won by Chateau, was the last official in-person event for ARMS. The lack of serious competition and the retirement of several notable top players led to a shift in the community. Instead of hyping up multiple large events, the community tried to make sure that as many top players as possible attended the few big ones. In the meantime, online tournaments became much more experimental. Starting in July, Champions of the Era became a prominent online tournament series that notably featured rules that varied from the competitive standard.
I wanted to do something different. I knew I wasn't going to be a prominent player, but I knew I could be a good leader. I had no issue with the backroom rule set. If anything, I was bored with it, hence why I made Champions of the Era. Temple Tantrum was because people were throwing a tantrum over the Champions of the Era set.
Events such as these gained notoriety during this era of ARMS, as the power vacuum created opportunities for experimentation. Twin was likely the strongest player during this period, although he was by no means dominant. Players such as Grifficle, JM, Para, and Askew are up there as well. There was also Gabby Cats, a 6-year-old girl who would post YouTube videos of her legitimately defeating top players such as JM and Twin on Ranked with their Mechanica.
Be careful, I've never seen you use the Slap-O-Manders before. Are you good with them?
No.
She never beat me though. ARMS' Silver Age was a period of low stakes and tight-knit online community involvement through the ARMS Central Discord server. This would last until 2GG's Heart of Battle, an offline tournament held in Southern California in February of 2019. Twin 5-0, as expected, was in Grand Finals, but his opponent was someone who had been in the scene for a long time. He's had some notable placements here and there, and even got top 8 in an offline major, but he wasn't in contention for the best player. That is, until this very moment. This is Astro Ninja.
Who is this kid? Again, who is this kid? If Astro wins this tournament, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, so well.
Yeah. Astro hasn't been hit by anything. He knows how Twin is approaching. This is such a one-sided game.
Oh my God.
This is such a one-sided game. All right, both of them have rush available. Ooh. Up, right in the face. Pulls out the rush. Parries that Ice Dragon.
Chip.
Yeah.
Gotta get clean. Oh, no, that's it.
Oh,
no!
He doesn't. The Dragon doesn't quite get the right positioning.
Oh, no, this could be it. Oh,
Oh, he breaks the rush!
Oh,
my
baits
God.
it out. Big damage. Go for the grab. Oh, it gets broken by both arms.
Oh!
Nah, you ain't trying that on me. I don't think down the Glacier is a good idea.
He just perfectly Twin. 10 seconds left on the clock, though. How does Twin by both try to close in this
Oh my
gap?
God.
Does he? He
One hit,
doesn't.
one hit.
He
Ah.
gets the reset.
The level of skill that Astros put out, the level of disrespect, right, has been ridiculous. Oh my God.
3, 2, 1. That's it.
Look at these. Okay, he's
Have you
feeling
ever
himself.
seen
He's
anyone?
feeling himself.
Have you ever seen anyone dance on Twin?
Who has the lead here? Who has the lead?
Oh, he gets the grab. Is that it? I think that's it. 2, 1. That's it. He dances on him. Astro takes the tournament.
That's it. He did it. Let's go. Woo! It's a nice hug. Thanks. Thanks for the games. I know it danced on you. I know it kind of dabbed on you a little bit. But thank you. There you go. He's celebrating. Who is this man? Who is this child?
Someone just comes in. It's like, oh yeah, I've lived in SoCal my whole life.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna beat everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play on the dashboard. I don't enter online.
That's right. He's not on the dashboard, is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be there 1 second.
This upset unknowingly accelerated 4 factors that cyclically led to ARMS' decline. The first of which was the toxic meta. Astro was now the best player in North America, and since international competition had basically stopped after EVO 2018, he had no challengers. How did you feel sort of becoming the guy for ARMS?
Great, absolutely great. Loved every second of it, honestly. Like, loved being on top. Loved, like, ARMS is like a much smaller scene compared to something like Smash Brothers or like Tekken or, like, I guess, like any more traditional fighting game. But it was nice, honestly. I really enjoyed being the top dog in ARMS, and also just just basically making the top of the leaderboard just whatever I wanted it to be. Shout outs to some of the other more meaty nicknames, which I think might be up on the No Context ARMS Twitter, because I remember I would just use my position on the #1 spot on the leaderboard to just kind of just come up with whatever name I wanted at the top.
Across the entirety of 2019, Astro won 73% of the tournaments that he entered. In 2020, his win rate rose to a staggering 95%, with him only losing to 2 people throughout the year. The only player who would consistently get him to sweat was Para, who was no stranger to beating the unbeatable. Astro's character of choice was Dr. Coil, who is undisputably the best character in the game. Well, undisputably aside from Astro, of course.
I do honestly still feel as if Dr. Coil, she's not really top 1 anymore. Honestly, I think that definitely goes to good Cobra. So I think Cobra's metagame's honestly just a little bit underdeveloped.
His loadout of choice included a variety of fast arms with large hitboxes, opting for arms that topped the tier lists. However, simply choosing the meta did not make him so dominant. Astro constantly practiced arms for multiple hours a day, several days a week. This grind paid off, and Astro perfected Coil's movement to a level no one had ever seen. He found a way to hit pretty much everyone, and if he didn't, he could find a way to mentally exhaust his opponents by evading every strike and prolonging the set. His game plan was to evade everything and be as annoying as possible to bait the opponent into making a risky move. The cherry on top of this strategy was that he would frequently do this game's equivalent of teabagging after securing rounds.
Dendy's probably the closest person that I knew from the community. Dendy was looking out for orgs. He found Illusion. He found someone that was pretty sympathetic. He picked up Dendy, and Dendy offered to have me come along with him, and that was pretty surreal. At the time, someone made my fucking official esports banner for me. I got my jersey for free. Anytime I would travel to an event, they give me $100 to travel different places. 300, 500 bucks prize pot for every once in a while to certain players that would join a weekly or something like that. So Dave is one of the owners. He actually came out to Smash and Splash 5. He traveled with some of us. Malieve was there. I think Twin 5-0 joined at some point. Resolve joined for a week and then left. It was a fun time, for sure. Resolve joined for Smash Ultimate, which was really funny. Astro Ninja also joined. Dave would only give him $50 instead of 100 because of how much he got annoyed by him. Definitely an interesting little child, that Astro.
Aside from Astro, more drama emerged from the dwindling community. As with any niche community filled with primarily children, drama and heated disputes between top players eventually caused many players, including myself, to leave the ARMS Central Discord server, thus splintering the already minuscule community into even smaller echo chambers. ARMS was now decentralized. From these scattered communities, more experimental formats blossomed, with a popular alternative rule being to ban Coil. The community was not incentivized to band together, as offline tournaments fizzled out. There were only 3 major offline events in 2019, the aforementioned Heart of Battle, Smash and Splash 5, and Switchfest 2019, the latter of which I attended and got 5th. Switchfest 2019 was also the last major offline tournament that ARMS would ever have in North America. All of these factors, combined with the game simply getting old and not receiving any developer support, led to low entrance to tournaments. Players did not have the incentive to keep playing, and audiences didn't have any incentive to keep watching. After 63 events, Mega League Monday would go on hiatus in February of 2019. But not before a certain player got his second win. The quantity of tournaments didn't fade during 2019 and 2020, but gone were the days of 40-plus man weeklies. At this point, a 16-man tournament was considered stacked. But just when everyone thought the game had died, something weird happened. To drum up the hype for Min Min's inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Nintendo decided to host 3 online open events in North America throughout 2020. What's even more odd for Nintendo is that they actually collaborated with prominent ARMS tournament organizers to pull this off.
I was recommended. They found a bunch of commentators, maybe 5 commentators for the first one recommended me. I managed to become the official seeder NTO for the next 3 tournaments. Nintendo worked with Battlefy, and I worked with Battlefy, which connected me to Nintendo.
At least you got paid for it.
I got $50.
These tournaments were massive too. All 3 of them dwarf any participant count for any previous tournament that I've mentioned, with April's event reaching 880 participants, the biggest ARMS tournament of all time. Everybody was at home because of COVID after all.
It was very stressful because the Battlefy team put me in charge of the seeding. They know what they're doing. They're professional tournament organizers. So if in the ARMS scene, if there was a specific dispute, they'd reach out to me. It was very, very overwhelming. But I know for sure I could not have been able to do it without that Battlefy team.
So, with everybody back on the game and grinding ARMS, would Astro finally be defeated? Who would defeat him? Would it be Para, JM, Grifficle, Twin? Would Resolve and Gore, the old fighters coming back for one last bracket, be the ones to defeat him? Kumo?
This was for ARMS! This was for ARMS!
Well, the first event provided a nice bookend to the past 3 years of the ARMS scene. Grifficle finally got his revenge on Resolve, beating him 3-0 in top 8 with exclusively Masango, a bottom 5 character. Unsurprisingly, Astro was dominant, winning the event without dropping a set, beating all of the old champions of the game. And I'm not gonna lie, the reason I'm not showing the full set is because this set is cursed. Like, watching Astro play already makes my blood boil, but somehow Astro's the least problematic person involved in this footage. This was one of Gore's last showings before his community-wide ban. The second and third events were streamed officially by Nintendo, with returning commentators Jordan Kent and Coney, and a new commentator, EE. Para had the run of a lifetime, securing a spot in the grand finals against Astro. Again, Para was no stranger to beating players stronger than him. This was as good of a shot as we would get at beating Astro.
The problem is you're pushing a boulder uphill for an uncertain amount of time, man. It's going to take a very, very long and arduous road for him to be able to come back in this entire set. He's got to win not just this set, but the one after. And here on DNA Lab, you can see Astro Ninja just trying to... I think a big thing here is the mental exhaustion. Even if you don't win this set, if Astro Ninja can't win this and Para goes up 1-1, if he could just kind of exhaust him, sort of wear him down, make him frustrated, and just try to make it so he's making constant mistakes, I think he's trying to play the long game.
Trailing, has the rush attack, trying to get the confirm to close it out. Isn't going to be enough.
Look at the timer!
Astro Ninja
But alas, he couldn't do it. The last tournament was a similar story.
The greatness of Astro Ninja on full display. Goof, doesn't matter what you throw out. Astro Ninja, 1, 2, make it 3 championships.
Astro had won the 3 biggest ARMS tournaments of all time, back to back to back. The scene had lost any hope of stopping him, and with no more major tournaments happening, there was no incentive to try and beat him. All of the old heads like JM, Serp, Grifficle, Twin 5-0, basically everyone that I've interviewed for this video thus far, stepped away from the scene permanently in the couple of years after 2020. Well, everyone except for Astro, of course. Astro and a few others stuck around as the years went on. Tournaments became rarer and rarer with fewer and fewer entrants, and community leaders such as the Ohio ARMS crew had to really pull together to make sure that there were at least a couple of people playing the game. SNG brought a new generation to the scene starting in 2021 with this consistent content and the ARMS Remix mod pack, which replaces every ARM in the game with custom ones.
Not to be a narcissist,
I think my server, SNG Cord, is perhaps the most active general ARM server there is right now.
At this time, the community became primarily casual, with goofy tournaments that were about fun rather than winning. New players popped up, but none of them were a threat to Astro.
Most of us who still play, we just talk about Astro like, oh my god, he's this unbeatable figure. And for a lot of us, he is.
Looking back, ARMS was a very odd game with a pretty engaging scene. I look back on the old days with both fondness and a bit of cringe, but I hope that this documentary has been able to broadcast the stories from the silly little game to more and more people. Astro has been the best player in ARMS for 7 years now, and to this day, he is an active player in tournaments. No one has been able to beat him, but not many have tried. If ARMS continues to have players a decade after the game came out, it'll only be a matter of time until somebody defeats him.
Just a few seconds on the clock! That's a lot of chip damage. The chip damage matters when there's this little time left.
7 seconds on the clock. Astro's almost got Rush.
The freeze! The rush!
And Rue does it! Rue does it! Rue beats Astro! Wow! Unbelievable match!
You know, Dendy, I like a decent bit of my, TCM crew is cool. Being Illusion was sick. Being able to see all the people that joined Illusion, a lot of those people I liked quite a bit. Scrimps was a great, little micro community. I think I really liked the SoCal group in particular, too. I think they were, probably, the nicest people, in the community. And not even, felt like the ARMS community did have, one flaw. It was a lot of, toxic positivity and kind of a lack of a better word, I guess. You didn't want to admit too much of the drama that would happen every now and then. SoCal ARMS was somewhere where it was genuinely really nice and also very transparent about being upfront about stuff like that as well. I think I definitely appreciate them a lot. So shout out to those guys DQ Queen, Busta Wolf, Hess, Pops, all those guys and Cookies, Double D. I think that was one area of the community as well that I think is super cool.
Favorite in the scene obviously is you guys. Dendy? I like Dendy. He's pretty cool. Shout out to Dendy. No shout out to Astro. Shout out to Frosty, I guess. She's pretty cool. I like him and his twin brother. You know he has a twin brother? Fact check me on that. Arrow was fun to mess with. He hated it, but it was funny to mess with her. Mario 119 was a secret. Steelhead's pretty cool. Fuck, can you start naming names? Fucking Resolve. Was it Resolve?
Springman!
I don't remember.
I'm better than you. Super Nintendo guy, I'm better than you.
Pineapple Freak, he was cool when he was there, There was another Japanese Cobra that I played against, and he was pretty cool and wholesome. His name starts with an H. Spedja. He was pretty cool. I liked him. He was interesting. Him and what the fuck was his name? Him and Butt Monkeys. His music is sick as fuck.
Defer, actual GOAT. No, Defer did so much promotional stuff for ARMS too, Absolutely. And for a lot of tournaments. Also, the podcast that FIA had, 1010 Man, he would stream. He had Tribal and Chilla on Master Mummy, and he would combo that into each other, and it was sick to watch that. Nobi was a Chilla monster. He was so good at just Chilla into Chilla into Chilla into Chilla, and he would kill you. Archie, the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Clearly. Can we talk about Gabby Cats? I spoke with Gabby Cats' dad. He's a security guy too. I would try to relay tips to Gabby Cats. You can tell Gabby Cats personally. If you look up my video of Gabby Cats, in the video itself, near the end, she's thank you JM Canada for always coaching me and fighting me, and I appreciate it so much. It's so cute. Aww. Dude. It filled my heart with joy, genuinely. I love that. Also, she has 1 or 2 really funny videos on her YouTube.
A lot of the ARMS crew, or the ARMS of North crew, JM, Griff, Riptide, you, Cold, a bunch of people, Kumo's another one, that just sort of hey, we're done playing ARMS, but let's just go do some other stuff. We sort of drifted apart for a while, but then the pandemic was hey, we're all stuck at home. Let's just hop on voice calls every night. Shout out to Scrimps for just being a fantastic head of the community, like running his stuff all the time, like running streams, making content, just being a friendly face all around. We were all, frankly, children, very young and immature. I can't really put a lot of blame for what happened because, again, everyone was just teenagers. And at this point, it's whatever, all water under the bridge.
This is a lot more personal and has nothing to do with the game. But I was a very lonely child. I didn't really look like anyone else, and that affected my ability to create meaningful connections or even try. This was really my first community I'd ever been in, and I'd ever felt like home. I give a huge shout to Scrimps. Scrimps is always my #1 shout for like really kick-starting everything, you could argue, and being just like the anchor of the community, always like looking to upholster it, and he was like a good friend of mine outside of all of it. So we love Scrimps for that. Shout out Scrimps, shout out Paul for saving arms, putting on some of the best tournaments in the game. Frosty and Loser, I think, are still doing it. So shout out them. They've been a backbone for a while. Era has been running like a lot of tournaments, being a huge pillar in the online scene.
I actually made a list, and let me just lead this off with, I'm sorry if I don't shout you out. There are so many people, so many streams, like it's impossible. So obviously the Shrimp Squad, Replicant JR, Vertical H, Griff, and JM Canada kind of like bounced around with us. I don't think he ever like fully committed to Shrimp Squad, but JM's a legend. Early days of really skilled players that I think put the game on the map. Cheesy Luigi was there. The whole Rafa debacle happened where we had a grudge match where one of them had to change their name. Pineapple Freak and Radio, huge influences on the scene. You know, they started their own team. I still speak with those guys all the time. Hanukkah Jamboree, massive influence, especially for helping out with tournaments, and he did a ton of locals with the St. Louis scene. And Defer flew over from Sweden to Smash and Splash. Like people from all over were there. That was so crazy. Paul Slacks, huge shout out. I don't even understand what his motivations are other than being a huge Nintendo fan. I forget which ramen bowl it was, but we only had like $30 in there, and then he just donates a couple $100 to the pot. It's like, dude, that's wild. It made the whole scene, the whole vibe of it so much more important because the players would show up all the time because they knew there was going to be some sort of reward for this. Swamp Chick donated a lot of money. Like, those two people probably straight up paid for half the plane tickets to get to Smash and Splash. And I don't know if they want me to say that, but honestly, we wouldn't have done it without them, so that was huge on the financial support. Replicant also donated a bunch. Streamers that kind of helped us out. Jay Miller, I don't know if you remember him. He's still streaming. Iceman, Tutorupa, Archie, Dink, Uran, Cat, Ten Man. That was another guy who he had his own stream going on. He didn't need to help the community at all, but he was a big part in the early days too. Trap Lord Huey. I appreciate anybody who ever had a hand in it or who even signed up for a tournament.
The list would be way too long. Probably, yeah, S3, Jor, Poppy, throwback to Jared, man, Pineapple. Shout out to Griff. Hey, Griff, sorry I got the second piece of artwork. I'll take it down in respect. Shout out to Screms for like carrying the ARMS tournament scene for the longest time. Shout out to Malieve. Shout out to Defer.
God, there's so many people. I think it's just people welcoming me, make me feel as like comfortable coming into the scene as possible. You know, accounting for like the fact that I'm new to the competitive scene. I think that was my favorite part, how welcoming people were. I mean, Jesus, there's so many people like Grimps, Replicant, Junior, Resolve, S3, Nobi, JM, you, Serp, Griff, Era, Dendy, Hanukkah. I'm always gonna have a little bit of a bias with Hanukkah because, like, ultimately he's the one that gave me the deciding factor for the win with Pega. So I appreciate him a lot for that. But he was also really chill. Sedge when he hosted tournaments. I can't remember if he hosted, but I know for sure he was commentating.
Para, I'd imagine he's everybody's shout out. He's just one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. He's extremely well spoken. He's extremely considerate. Hanaka's great. I hope he considers me his friend as well as I consider him. I mean, I could shout out to a million people, just all of my friends. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, you, JM, Serp. I mean, like, there's a huge list.
Griffical, very, very fun, chill dude. Shrimps, of course, that goes without saying. I think everyone's gonna shout out Shrimps. Like, all of Shrimp Squad, really. The best friends one could ask for in an online scene. We still message the group chat every now and then.
There's a whole list. Frosty and Loser have been my co-TOs for the last few, I think, year and a half of me running Network Era. So those guys, honestly, Serp, Griff, JM, and you were really big friends of mine in the community, and I'm so thankful for. Radio's a big one. Him and I still text and reach out to each other. He was one of my closest friends and mentors. So. And big shout out to Denby, because he was there while I was going through a lot of stuff. So those guys made it so much better in the scene.
SNG, definitely. SNG is someone who definitely deserves the shout out. T-Turtle. He was probably like one of the first like friends that I think of like really made in the scene like back in the day. Like I remember like me and another shout out to like my other friend AM. He was like another big one, actually like Springman player. I remember we would all just like spar together, just like talk about like just like whatever, essentially, like in T-Turtle's like server and everything. That was a lot of fun. Shoutouts to Resolve for being out there. I mean, especially at Smash Splash, it was like awesome to get to see him in person.
There's two people that come in mind that I want to shout out. First of all, Virus. He's an up-and-coming player. He plays Twintel. He's like really been like getting at it. He's become really strong since he joined back. He came back through the other person I'm gonna shout out. In my opinion, one of the GOATs of this community right now. One of my best friends also, Prince. He's gone through several names ever since he joined the community. He's gone through like Taco Cat, Technopathic, and now Prince. But he's been doing a lot. He also helps me moderate my server. I would like argue that he moderates a little bit more than I do. He runs the only other event right now, which is the Sparring Stadium. He's a really nice person. Probably one of the most approachable people.
Dart, start the clip now and put this
she initially made like.
Wait, Dart, don't put this in your B-roll. I'm getting zoned in my favorite game.
Back
Dart is
now.
putting none of this in the B-roll.
Wait, Dart, don't put that in the B-roll.